I mean, it'll take a minute anyway. Let's see.
I did not eat last night. Like, couldn't eat past midnight, which for
Ooh,
some
wow,
people might not be an
Crunch
issue, but for me, that's like an entire meal I'm cutting out.
Ooh, Crunch Berries were superior to regular Captain Crunch.
I didn't add all of them. Just I don't know. Same with like the only one I added multiples of is Cheerios, but like I don't know if you like fucking blueberry Chex, then you can vote for Chex for S tier or whatever. You know, like
Yeah, that's a good point.
trying to have
That
a
leads
name.
into the discussion. You know, like
I like Cheerios because Cheerios are like one of the top selling. Like I found a bunch of these cereals just by doing top sold cereal on Amazon. Like I went to Amazon and it was sorted by like most sales, and like Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios were like both in the top 5. So like,
We're
yeah,
missing.
I would say Big Cheerio is really pulling the wool over our
can you even
eyes.
buy a s'mores cereal anymore? I thought that shit was like discontinued.
There's s'mores cereal.
I still see it. Is it discontinued, Paul?
What's it called?
Yeah, it was just called s'mores.
Oh, weird.
It's super
No, I
bomb,
did not add
Dude, I would
s'mores.
say like
Pretty-
Cheerios has like the most fucking crazy marketing campaigns, bland as fuck. It doesn't taste
Yeah.
very good. And they just pivoted and they're like, well, our cereal's not that good compared to all the sugar bombs, but it's good for your heart. And so it's healthy for you. And that's how they get all the sales to say like, hey, heart attack is one of the leading causes of death in the world. So they're like eating cardboard in the shape of a circle, but you won't die.
Dude, everyone knows Cheerios are for babies.
Cheerio,
Literally, Cheerios are for babies whose taste buds haven't yet developed. It's like it's the snack of babies across the United States. You get a little plastic Ziploc bag full of Cheerios. Guaranteed there's a baby nearby.
That's a really good point.
Just saying.
All right, I posted on Twitter that we were live.
Let me think.
Yeah, Reese's
Apple Jacks
Puffs,
is also one.
Cinnamon Toast
I
Crunch.
always saw the ad campaign for Apple Jacks growing up, and I never ever ate those.
Yes,
Dude, Apple Jacks fucking rock.
I'll
go out there for
What's up, Eric?
Yeah, I would say the ones that are close to my heart are Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Crunch Berries, and Reese's Puffs. Although
I'll
I
save it
remember
for Friday,
back in
but
the
I,
day-
I like fucking Cheerios. Like Honey Nut Cheerios are bomb, and there's like the other ones I added on there. There's like multicolored ones I like too. The multi-grain Cheerios, I think those fuck too.
Oh man,
personally.
plain Cheerios are a fucking racket.
Lame.
Like Honey Nut Cheerios I get, but plain Cheerios are a fucking
I won't eat
Even
plain
Honey
Cheerios.
Nut Cheerios, that's like you poured honey on cardboard.
I'd say the
but-
American Heart
Plain
Association.
Cheerios are only edible
sort
if
of
you just dump honey on it.
involved
Like you take a
with
bottle of
Cheerios
honey
brand.
in.
Kicks. I don't remember. I am the KY. I don't remember when frosted wheats were big logs. I do remember mini wheats being like. I don't.
They're
I guess I
different.
never ate frosted
There's the
wheats.
shredded wheat, the frosted wheats, and then the mini
they have,
wheats,
like,
the
little
mini
chunks.
versions.
Yeah.
The
I used
bigger
to
ones,
eat
but
the
nobody
frosted
ate
mini
the bigger
wheats.
version. It was always mini wheats.
Yeah, I always
not
only ate
always,
the
but,
frosted
like,
mini wheats. That's what I was
That's what's
thinking,
been
too.
popular like our entire lives.
Those were the ones that always they like sponsored like Olympic athletes, where it would always be like some Olympic Wheaties? Yeah, Wheaties. Aren't that Isn't that frosted mini wheats?
Eric,
Isn't
if
that
you're
Wheaties?
No,
coming-
they're totally separate. They're
They're
different.
If you're coming to talk shit
Oh.
about kicks,
Okay.
I'm not here for it, Eric. I like kicks.
Kicks was interesting. It was like corn.
about Pops?
It
Gotta
was,
have
like,
my
a cool
Pops.
texture. It wasn't like super sweet.
I like
but
Pops,
it was like a
too.
good texture.
Pops are way sweeter than kicks. Kicks are like a healthier cereal.
Pops
Yeah,
are like
see,
the
we were
better
just
version of
talking
Kicks.
about that. Cheerios are for like either when you're a baby or you're like elderly. I feel like there's no.
Yeah, exactly. It's for people who no longer like for whom flavor is not a
This one, I actually have a hard time. Like to me, almost none of these are D tier. I think the only D tier for me is like Special K. Special K is pretty fucking bad.
Dude, I remember
Special K
Life
is
being
way
pretty. What
better
about
than-
Raisin Bran? Raisin Bran's like I feel like.
I love Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran's actually fucking bomb, dude.
Raisin Bran
I
is
fucked
pretty
with
good.
Raisin Bran. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like most of these healthy cereals because my family would like, for a long time, they wouldn't buy us the sugar cereal. So like, like Kix was a staple. Multigrain Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios, like we
I
ate
feel
all
like
of
the
those.
chocolate side of the breakfast cereal is just being ignored here. All I see is Cocoa Pebbles. Where's like Cocoa Puffs, chocolate frosted flakes?
Hey Max, you can fucking make the list if you want to do some work. I do all the work for this shit.
You can
like
add-
30
you can
fucking
add
cereals
your
on here.
account
Just go dig
Friday.
for images. You can add them.
So there's like a
Link to our
link.
Twitter,
you can
anybody
add
can.
it,
Cocoa
and you
Pebbles
just
is
add the
basically
thumbnail.
chocolate covered Rice Krispies, which is like,
I went through 5 different lists of the top 30 cereals and like combined them, and this is what I got. And the shit
I guess
you're saying
people don't
wasn't on
really
those
like
lists, so I'm sorry.
chocolate cereal then, huh? If
I
they
would
not
say
make
I
the
would
list.
say you could argue. Well, are Cocoa Pebbles and Cocoa Puffs? Oh, I guess they're different brands, right? They're not under the same umbrella.
No, what?
and
They're
Fruity
totally
Pebbles
different
under the
brands.
same umbrella.
One is Flintstones and the other one is the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs bird.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
I actually think Fruity Pebbles suck pretty bad, but for whatever reason, that one was on a bunch of the top lists. People like Fruity Pebbles, I guess. I think it's
Fruity
Dude,
Pebbles
Crunch Berries are a heavy hitter, but Honey Smacks I'll say is a
Berries
dark
awesome.
horse. Honey Smacks is a dark horse.
Honey Smacks I love, dude. Honey Smacks is fucking fire.
What a fucking sentence. Honey Smacks is a dark horse. Sounds like you're in a fucking cult or something.
Yeah, Honey Smacks is like
I
a
speak in
rare
idioms,
treat,
you know. Where's
I'd say.
Paul when you need him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Paul,
let's
where's Paul when
let's
you
save this for Friday anyway. I was just showing Max because he
You
had
coming on
issues
Friday,
with what
Paul?
cereals are being chosen.
But yes, Max, you can add to the list. So you can
Okay,
add
I
just
might
a
have to add
thumbnail and
some-
add your Cocoa Puffs and stuff.
It has to be a JPEG or a PNG. Those are like the only two
Okay, I can do that.
requirements. It's annoying because a bunch of like
girl,
Amazon
you
and shit
Honey
use
Smacks
like
too, girl.
the web image. They use like the WebP image, and those don't fucking work.
I gotcha. Marcy,
Oh man, that's
please.
right. Yeah, they had the Rice Krispie Pops or whatever they're called. Yeah, that's a good point. It was just literally like little rice balls, but with a shit ton of sugar in it.
I'm also just gonna say,
Those were
like, we
trash.
can't add every cereal. There's too many cereals. So like,
Yeah, there's so many iterations. You remember all the off-brand bullshit that they had at like, you know, at the store because you were like too poor in college to buy the real
I still
stuff.
buy that
Yeah.
stuff, Mark. You
Yeah,
think I
well-
buy name brand goods off of?
I'm trying to remember
Yes,
all
in
the
college,
off-brand
Mark,
names
yes.
were super funny because they were like close but not quite there. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I remember there was like an off-brand like what is it, Lucky Charms, but it had like an octopus on the cover, and it came in like a big bag and not like a box.
Well, that was the Lucky Charms is the Pirates Booty, or what is it? The Pirates.
Yeah, it was Pirate
Pirate's
something. and
Treasure.
It had like an octopus.
It
on
wasn't Pirates Booty because that's like the like popcorn ones, but it was like the something matey,
Yeah.
wasn't it called?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I know.
Okay, now we gotta fucking Google this. Off-brand.
I remember that one though, especially that it didn't come in a box. Like you know that you're getting the bargain cereal. when the
Marshmallow
box
Mateys,
is-
that was the name.
Marshmallow Mateys.
Yeah, there it is. And look, if you scroll down, it's in a bag.
It's all comes in a bag. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even get the box experience. I remember those. I liked those too. I mean,
Oh my god, I just saw this. There's an off-brand of Crispix, and it's just called Crispy Hexagons.
you know what would be fun? It'd be fun to like.
That's another
gather a
one.
bunch
I will
of
fight for
off-brands.
Crispix. Crispix fucking rock, and I know that might not be a pop. I feel like I'm gonna just get shit on this Friday. Like all of my favorite cereals are the ones everybody shits on.
Yeah. I think it'd be
Here.
fun to like find a bunch of off-brands and then see if we can guess what they're the off-brand for. Because this is definitely off-brand Lucky Charms.
Gigantic. Yeah,
Marshmallow
that's the other thing
Baby.
too. Like someone was saying, there's Captain Berry Crunch berries, but I don't have normal Captain Crunch. I'm not going to do Captain Crunch peanut butter Captain Crunch. Like I'm not going to do every fucking iteration of Captain Crunch. Like if you like Captain Crunch in any iteration, just vote for the fucking picture of the Captain Crunch berries. Same with like
I
Crispix.
fucking
Same with like
hated
they
all
make
those.
different flavors of all those. They make Cinnamon Life. Cinnamon Life is better than regular Life. If you want to vote for regular Life with your like tier for Cinnamon Life, let's do it that way. I don't want to have to add every fucking variation of every fucking
Yeah,
cereal. It's
it'll
gonna
take way too
forever.
long.
I hate all those fucking multicolor ones, like the Fruity Pebbles, fucking the what is it? The one that you just mentioned. The
You know what I'll say
Captain
now?
Crunch berries. I hate
Trix?
those.
Ever since Trix
Trix,
changed
yeah,
the
ugh.
shapes, it's bullshit, dude. When there were shapes of fruits, Trix was fucking fantastic and magical. Now they're just like these like weird circles with lumps on them. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah, now they're just like puffs.
Yeah, Cocoa Nuggets, Marshmallow Magic.
I don't know. All the fruity ones I really didn't like. They always taste so like artificial.
just rang my door.
I do like the marshmallows, but anything where like where it's like a mix that looks like a bag of Skittles just got poured into your bowl of milk, that I'm not into that.
yeah, Trix is now just fucking balls. You see
Yeah.
that? It's like this is fucking.
Fuck
It's like
that.
Fruit Loops, but in a different shape. Like they didn't. The fun part was the fact that it used to be like they used to have like little bananas and little shapes and stuff.
You remember that Captain Crunch had like an oops all berries and it was just all crunch berries and none of the filler crap?
Hard pass for me on that one. I like Captain Crunch
I
better
mean,
than
dude, I don't like
berries.
that shit. I don't like
I
these
like
colorful
the
ones.
actual Captain Crunch like corn cereal is one of my favorite like cereals. But yeah, this is what it used to look like. They used to have all the different like shapes and flavors and like I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah, I
But
remember
now
that.
it's just like balls. It's just like not fun to eat anymore.
I
for me.
agree with this. It tastes so artificial, like those super colorful ones, and like it's such a like it's like atomic food.
I gotta grab my tea. I'll be right back.
Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Fruity Pebbles style cereals. Fruity Pebbles, Twix, like all the ones that are just super multicolored.
Some of these are hilarious. It's just such blatant knockoffs. Like, I don't know if it's just difficult to trademark or like patent cereal or something, but Cocoa Nuggets, Marshmallow Magic. I like this one, Tricks and Pranks, but this one's like a raccoon.
Pranks, and it's a little like bandit, like
yeah, it's like a
whatever
little
fox character,
coyote or something. Yeah,
yeah, maybe he's a
kind of funny.
like a
It's
trash
like almost
panda.
the same. Like they're both in blue. Although I guess this guy's like doesn't have the mustache or whatever.
Yeah, crispy
Provides
crunch.
7 vitamins and minerals.
I feel like I've seen Colonel. I've seen like Colonel Crunch too, and then I've seen Admiral Crunch.
I
is the
think
fun one.
Admiral Crunch.
Damn, Colonel Crunch, dude, he way outranks fucking Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch
Right.
better get in line.
Same with the
Yeah,
Admiral
better watch
Crunch.
what he's
Admiral
saying on
Crunch is
Colonel
like-
Crunch.
Terrifying. You see this fucking clown, and then the hats on their hair, not the.
Wait, is that real? That's
Oh,
a
cookies.
horrible
Oh, that's
fucking
funny.
mascot for.
Oh
Do people like? I thought clowns were like universally disliked, but like everybody makes fun of me for not liking clowns.
No, I
and
absolutely
shit.
hate clowons. I hate
like,
it. I don't know
who
how you
likes-
can like clowns.
I don't understand how
wrong with clowns?
anybody likes clowns. Like clowns are, like not even like the scary factor. Just like, do you want to see a clown entertain you? Like, is anything a clown does actually entertaining? Like, why do people? Why does
I've never
anybody like clowns?
considered
I
a
don't get it.
clown funny in any way. I just find it kind of creepy. Yeah, this one's
I-
where they really phone it in. The Great Value fruit spins. Like, even look at the box. It's like
Isn't wait what is great? Is that Walmart brand or is that
I think these are all Walmart brands. Yeah,
okay? Great, yeah, because I think Great
Crispy
Value is like one of the
hexagons. Oh my
superstores like
God.
native brands.
bunch of cinnamon squares.
Can he see why kids love bunch of cinnamon squares?
Fruity crisp. That looks horrible. Like the way that font is written is like hire a new graphic designer. That shit's trash.
Oh yeah, here's the old Safeway brand, Apple Orbits.
Oh,
That's another way to
I-
say circle.
That apple
I
looks
don't
like it's
know.
on drugs.
Yeah, that apple is like on speed or something.
yeah, I prefer the Jamaican cinnamon stick from the Apple Jacks commercials.
Wait,
You
is
remember
there
that guy's
Jamaican
like a
cinnamon
Rasta
stick?
cinnamon stick, who was always
I
like
do not
on a
remember
race
that
to get
even
to
a
the
little
bowl.
bit, but
What the whole ad campaign was like, the apple and the cinnamon stick were racing to get to the bowl first, and cinnamon gets there first every time. And he was always like this cool. He's like, "Yeah, man, don't worry, take it easy. I'm gonna get here
From what
first
year?
anyway."
It's cool,
Is
man. I'm
Apple
just gonna
Jack
hang
will
in the
taste like
milk, eh?
from what year, Max? I'm gonna look this up.
Like the '90s?
96.
Yeah, '96 sounds right. You probably see like the Jamaican like cinnamon stick in all of those.
I thought you boys were gonna work on the garage.
Dad, we're resting.
Crushing
Oh,
cereal
yeah.
with my bros.
Jacks, I see.
That's definitely not it. You're
No,
talking
what
about the
that-
animated
that
ones,
one?
like these guys, right?
Yeah, the animated ones. Those have like a Jamaican cinnamon stick in them.
Just think of all the Apple
There he
Jacks
is.
out there.
Millions!
That's us.
How are we ever gonna get there? Got it. See you at the bowl, buddy boy.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
I love it. I am cinnamon.
I am
Apple,
Cinnamon.
Or cinnamon.
Who will be?
A whole new shape for your favorite cinnamony taste.
They
That's
got
part of a
that-
nutritious breakfast.
I don't know if I like those commercials.
You don't remember those?
I honestly
commercials?
think that's the first time I've ever seen that. I don't think I
This
saw
is the
that
first
growing
time
up.
I've ever seen
I
that.
saw those commercials all day growing up as like in the '90s. The fucking Apple Jacks guy.
Did
and
you
he's
remember
just
when you were a
always-
kid and you just sit in the garage and eat cereal with your good friends?
It was like, dude, it was like cinnamon will be the winner, man. I'm pretty sure.
Does cinnamon have
Pretty
anything
sure
to do
that
with
was his,
Jamaica?
like,
Did they just
thing.
like randomly decide to make him Jamaican? That's the part that's confusing.
Yeah,
me.
I mean,
Like, what is
cinnamon, like, I don't
cinnamon
think-
a Jamaican export even? Like what?
I think cinnamon is Jamaican because it's cinnamon.
Yeah, I think I'm
Yeah, it's a
thinking
little
too hard
bad.
about it, but
I don't know if that would fly today, but in the '90s, oh man, I was busting up.
all right, let's do some giveaways so we can get into our tech talk. Do we want to do? Does anybody want to play Nova Rally? Should I try doing Nova Rally today, or should we save Nova Rally for tomorrow? Since we're doing Wax Wednesday tomorrow, we can do a more feature on it.
Yeah, I'd say like do a whole thing on it tomorrow.
Because the thing about Nova Rally is like, if we want to play it, people need to join now, and then I need to come back in like 20 minutes after the races happen. So like, yeah, I don't know. Fuck it. I'll just put we'll decide later, but I will put all my racers in, and then if we don't show the races on stream, whatever. But if we do, then we do. But I'm gonna put in 6 racers, 6 groups. So if anybody else wants to race at the same time, you could potentially get in the same race as me, and I could potentially show it on stream. And maybe we'll do that after Tech Talk.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I'll enter these now, and if you get in the same race as me, I'll show them after Tech Talk. But we'll do some marbles and then Tech Talk and then Nova Rally. That'll be a day.
Man,
tomorrow we can do a more in-depth Nova Rally.
I'm reading up on it now, and I guess they took away the Jamaican beanie of the cinnamon guy on the ad commercials in the last like 10 years. Trying to preempt getting canceled.
Is the cereal standalone or its versatility? Smash Captain Crunch with bread and chicken. What?
I mean, I would say
putting Captain Crunch to bread your chicken. Is that what I'm reading?
A lot of people use like corn flakes and stuff as like corn like fried chicken.
I think you can argue anything. I don't think it's only for eating as a cereal. If you want to use your argument for a cereal, you want to argue that it's versatile. I think that's fine. I
guess not all.
Oh, you're saying like you can crush up Captain Crunch and then use it as like breading for fried chicken? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good to me though.
But yeah, using cornflakes I know for sure is a thing. But yeah, I think all encompassing, because that versatility may not apply to all the sugary cereals, and so that kind of is a balancing factor. I don't think you have to eat it as cereal. Although I've used Captain Crunch in like pie crusts before, very successfully. Or not Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
It's not good. It's great. That's good.
Yeah, so if you do a little bit of graham cracker and Cinnamon Toast Crunch in your pie crust, highly recommend.
They're more than good. They're great. Frosted Flakes. I've been like having a hankering for Frosted Flakes lately. Like Frosted Flakes are fucking S tier, dude. Those things are so good.
Yeah, that's like the default when I think of like breakfast cereal. Frosted Flakes is like
cereal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cornerstone of the breakfast cereal.
I was surprised to see a lot of lists put Cinnamon Toast Crunch at 1. Like Cinnamon Toast Crunch is definitely a high seed, and another one that I was surprised is Reese's Puffs. Like I don't know, Reese's Puffs were like kind of newer when I was young, so it's like I don't view that as like a staple as much as kind of like a weird added cereal, but I guess it's become somewhat of a staple because a lot of people said Reese's Puffs is
Oreo O's, man. Oreo
O's, yes.
Oreo O's I think went out though. They don't sell those anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Those are bomb.
I could be wrong, but I mean I haven't seen them in the grocery store in a long time.
Eric wants to also not forget the history.
Isn't that about jerking off or something? It's all about jerking
Isn't it about I think it's about like the overabundance of corn as a crop.
Yeah, I thought we looked it up like on stream that like it was like you eat cornflakes, so you don't.
I thought it was to cure someone's like masturbation addiction.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh.
How do we have such? There's no way that like I made that up and you guys like.
No, we absolutely looked it up on stream. I know exactly.
Yeah, there it is. Eric says to prevent masturbation. I was like, what are you guys talking about? Extra like corn stuff? Is like it had such a wild use case that I don't know. You guys are coming through. Anyway, let's get into our giveaway. We can keep going off the rails, but I just want to start this, so we're going to take forever. This is the Neon Monkey from the Crypto Monkey collection. It is a monkey stack. Artwork made by Neon, Max, and Paul from our team. And I'm going to do the intro, so it gets loud. You might want to turn your volume down. You might not want to, but now would be the time to make the decision. And here we go.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I wonder if that was successful, though. Did the guy stop masturbating because of cornflakes?
I don't know, but I do remember seeing that on Adam Ruins Everything as well.
Cornflakes prevents it or makes it better? I think you're supposed to eat cornflakes when you're thinking about masturbating. I think that's the cure.
It's so bland. You're so focused on how bad it is that you completely lost all your thirst.
Damn. I didn't even know cornflakes were that bland. that kills
Shout out
your
Homelands. Shout out to his family.
Is Special K the same thing as cornflakes? I'm talking a lot of shit about Special K. I don't know if I've ever had Special K, but to me it's a D tier. Who the fuck's eating Special K? Special K,
Especially
the only
with like those strawberries in it are pretty good. The like freeze dried strawberries.
as we say, the only way I'm eating a Special K is if it's ketamine.
Yeah,
if it
that's
is
good.
the slang
Yeah, I
term
mean-
for the street drug ketamine, that's when I'm eating.
I mean, what is
Yeah.
Special K even? Is it just one of those like kind of brand flakes?
I always call it kitty, but Special
What the
K.
fuck
I've
is
heard
even
as
in it?
I think
It's like
I think it's pretty
cornflakes
similar
without
to
frosting.
cornflakes.
It's like unfrosted flakes.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't really know what role Special K really fills outside of like existing cornflakes, which are unfrosted and unsugared, and
I don't eat cornflakes either. Those are the two cereals where it's like I don't fuck with those.
oh, they're puffed flakes. Okay, so maybe that's how they set themselves apart.
I will say though, Max brings up the ones with strawberries are actually pretty good. That like strawberry one.
Yeah,
I
the
also like
strawberry
the
ones. I fuck with those.
the honey bunches of oats with like bunches of
Honey
like,
bunches of
granola
oats are
chip. They're
good.
super bomb. Shout out honey bunches of oats. UK Special K aimed at fat women. Okay.
Actually, I think in Germany too. That was
Yeah,
like
it's all,
a-
yeah, that's right. They had like a whole like
Yeah.
diet thing about it. They're like it's supposed to be.
Is it? Do they pair it with a? Ooh, what was that diet soda for women? Not Jolt, but
What,
Tab.
Tab?
Tab. Yeah. Tab was
Wait,
supposed to be like
Tab
a
is for
diet
women?
full of. I think so.
It was
Am I wrong?
marketed
It was-
for women.
Isn't it
was
for like
a
insane
can,
clowns?
and it was supposed to be like good for you.
Did you
or
say
it's supposed to,
insane
like,
clowns?
Get on a diet, and it
Yeah.
was like specifically marketed towards women. It wasn't like
I thought Insane Clown Posse drank Fuego.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
okay.
Fago.
For some
Fago
reason, I
movement.
thought it was Tab.
Yeah, Fuego's
So
fire
it
in
is not
Spanish.
for
Not
insane clowns. It's
Fago.
It is for women, huh? Oh, you know what? It's also like a really like it has like a gay community like tie. I don't know what the tie is, but I've definitely
we love
Wait,
these.
what does?
I've seen
we love-
Tab as a
Get it.
as a like a gay icon.
As a gay icon?
Wait,
Yeah, or like Tab in general. Let me ask Paul. Paul knows a little bit more about the cultural.
Can a
behind it.
soda be a gay icon? I'm confused.
Well, maybe
about
like
even
that.
wording
It's
of
not, but that it's like a staple within the gay community
Okay, that makes
potentially.
more sense to me.
Let me
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember it was like big in like the
Let me
80s
Google
and 90s, and it was
Tab.
like marketed as like a diet drink for women.
That's
it
the
was-
only thing I know about Tab.
And it was like a
And
pink
if it's
can,
wrong, I could
and
be wrong.
I think they still make Tab. I want to say like Pepsi bought it out or something. Or Coke bought it. Okay.
I typed in gay tab, and the first thing that came up was "wish you were gay" acoustic guitar tabs.
Okay.
Oh, it just got discontinued in 2020. Oh, weird.
Pandemic killed Tab. Fucking
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah. Thanks, Obama.
Cone Dog is just slowly moving towards the end. We'll see if Random King can catch up. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Apparently, tab is like it is aimed at women, so men drinking tab is considered like a sissy thing, and therefore it has like a gay connotation. Apparently, like it's like men who drink diet sodas is apparently also.
What are you talking about? I've seen like there are a lot of men who.
What
crush
website are
Diet
you reading
Coke
this
all
off of?
fucking day.
That was a Reddit comment, so that was just one person's idiotic opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe if you're drinking soda in the
All
locker
men who
room,
drink
like,
Diet Coke are fucking
look at
gay.
this guy over here crushing Diet Coke.
Gay.
What a bitch.
Yeah, you know what goes good with diet soda? Cock, right in your mouth.
I still got room because of the diet.
Exactly.
Here's a good question. What is the best diet soda? I think Diet Dr. Pepper's king.
I
Fight
think
me.
don't drink diet. If you want to drink soda, don't drink diet soda. Like diet soda.
That wasn't my question, Max. My question is
As
what
a
is the best
straight
diet soda
activist,
if you have
always.
to choose a diet soda?
If you
I
have
would
to,
say Diet Coke exceeds Diet Pepsi. I don't know why. I just
you
feel
know
like
what?
it has
Coke
better
Zero or whatever the one lately I've been.
Yeah,
I've
Coke
tried it.
Zero's
Not
pretty
bad. Not bad.
I am the KY says I don't think we can do gayest drink for food fight.
Gayest drink.
What's the gayest food? A hot dog? Looks like a wiener.
Oh, that's pretty gay.
That is really funny because I feel like hot dogs are so synonymous with like football and sports and stuff that it
Yeah,
like
that's
it
true.
wants to be a manly food, but it is naturally very phallic.
It is a gay food. It just wants to hang out with the boys, dude. That's why it's a
Just
big
playing
old
with
sport.
the
I
boys,
did-
man. Tom
I
Cruise.
did. I saw a podcast where like some like
a
like
banana,
sex
yeah.
instructor was saying that she like teaches oral sex on bananas and cucumbers. So maybe those are
pretty gay.
also gay fruit.
Yeah, soft
I can
drinks would be a
confirm.
good one.
I
think we
eat
talked
both
about
bananas
this in,
and
like,
cucumbers, so
a
that
soda tier list would be good.
You also like pickles.
that tracks.
That's why Mark doesn't like pickles. He thinks they're gay.
Yeah.
I don't care what shape they come in. I just don't like it.
Hmm.
It's like the brininess. I can't get over it. It's like
What about anything that's pickled, or is it just pickles?
I don't mind like pickled vegetables that are like vinegary, you know, like pickled
What are you
onion.
talking about
pickled
this?
onions,
You, would,
yeah,
you said you'd argue
pickled
for pickled
carrots.
jalapeno over.
I just there's
I'd-
something
I'd argue pickled
distinctly
jalapeno
briny
too,
and like
but
distinct
pickled
pickles
regular
that is
pickles are better.
different than other pickled things. Like pickled cucumbers and pickles are like same but different. Even though technically a cucumber is a pickle is a pickled cucumber, like there's a certain brining thing to it. Whereas instead of just taking like fresh cucumber and putting it in like vinegar and sugar, that's like distinctly a different flavor than like a kosher dill pickle. Even though technically they are the same thing.
And you like one but not the other, is what you're saying?
Correct. There's something distinct about pickles
Wait.
that I just can't get into.
That's nonsense.
I didn't even understand that like entire speech. You like certain pickles, but not other ones. What did you say?
Well, pickles inherently are pickled cucumbers.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
Yep. So far, I'm on board too. So.
On board.
Like, let me look this up. What like the difference is?
What was part 2 of the statement?
I agree with the pickled onions being pure fire, especially red onions. Oof. Pickled red onions.
We were gonna do pickles versus jalapenos versus olives for a food fight.
Olives are like a
I was gonna argue olives. You were gonna
it's
argue
like a out of
pickles,
left
and Mark
field
was.
for that fight.
I don't think so. I think like you use them in the same. Olives are like you put them on sandwiches, you put them on pizza, like you put them
True.
on all
It's
the
like
same
a
shit that you're.
charcuterie. They
I'm
all
trying to
fit
make
on
sure
a
I'm not
charcuterie
full of
board.
shit. I don't.
What we ought to do is like the best thing on the charcuterie board.
The best thing on what?
On a charcuterie board.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do that for like a tier list. This was back when we were still doing 1v1v1 and we are trying to find things
Yeah.
that were like in the same categories. I don't know. Maybe we'll go back to that format. I kind of like the tier list format. I also feel like the tier list format isn't quite as a direct ripoff of Taste Buds.
Yeah.
We do it the other way. I'm just like, yeah, this is Taste Buds, but we're less famous. But the tier list thing is a little more like
Ooh,
our
I'd
own
go
brand.
I'd go for a soft drink tier list too. That's a good one.
Yeah, soft drink would be a good one.
Just mean like soda or
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we can do that. I think next week we'll do Thanksgiving though, because next week is Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
right?
And I can't believe people would argue for fucking. Yeah. What is that one? The like Coke where you added toothpaste to it.
I already made the Thanksgiving side one, so we have a Thanksgiving side tier list ready to go.
Wait.
Have you seen this? Have you seen those things where like they sell them? I think they're like $20, and you can put anything into it, and you like shake it, and then you can scrape it, and it turns into fucking like a icy. But it's like a homemade icy, but you can put any drink you make in it.
Huh.
Really? I have not.
I kind of want to get one of those. But yeah, you like put it in your freezer. You put it in your freezer. It's a cup, and then you fill it, and then like you like stir it, and like the frozen shit on the sides mixes with the liquid, and it becomes like a. I don't know. It looks pretty good though.
Huh.
Wait, what is this Coke mixed with toothpaste thing you're saying?
We're false advertising here. Dropped it to expand all to DeFi, but stated for the Cereal Soda Pickle podcast.
Yeah, we've talked not about FTX. We haven't talked about Wax DeFi, and we haven't analyzed the market, but we have analyzed the cereal market.
We are properly clickbaiting people, which is the whole point of changing your title, though. So
So it shows we're getting
mission
better at
accomplished.
this. We're getting
It's
better.
it's root
Like a
beer
mint
is what it's
Coke?
called. Yeah.
root-
root beer is.
Those are
so
fighting
good.
words.
You've been-
Those are
Like
fighting
Coca-Cola,
words,
where
man.
you added
Oh,
like
Max, don't you put that evil and say like fucking roots and barks are fucking toothpaste? Get out of here.
you might as well have just emptied a fucking wintergreen toothpaste into a like 2 liter of Coke, and that's probably the
outta
same,
here.
if not better taste.
That's bullshit. I will argue root beer versus cream soda. I will do that.
Oh my god, you really think root beer is in the same fucking league as cream soda?
Dude,
You
cream
know what?
soda
I'll hop
is-
in. You guys, I'll hop in with orange soda. Me and Keller are gonna fucking take it. I love orange soda. I do.
You know,
All right, let's
there's
do
a
another
way
race
to-
real quick.
Yeah, what
There's a
happened
way
to
to
Kel?
improve
Keenan
orange
wants to
soda
make
by
a
adding
what
cream
happened
to it.
Kel?
Orange cream soda.
That sounds good too.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
we're going to
really
do another giveaway for a Life with Sasha sticker pack. This is a 1 sticker promo. If you'd like more stickers to complete the blends, you can buy them from the Made on Stream collection, where Sasha makes artwork on stream and then releases it to the community. I'm gonna turn on this music a little bit too.
I'll cream your soda. Yeah, well, you know what? I'd appreciate that. Cream soda is better than regular soda, so. You know, one time, oh, this is really fucking bad. Like, I was at like a way fine dining place, like too fine to be ordering Coke in the first place, but I ordered a vanilla Coke, and they were like, sure, and like, then they brought Coke and added vanilla extract to it, like at the table, and I was just like, this is trash. Just say you don't have vanilla Coke, and then get me like I'll have something else.
Yeah,
But it
who
was so
orders
weird that they're
vanilla
just like,
Coke
oh
at a
yeah, we
Was
can
there
do
vanilla
that.
Coke on the menu, or did you just freeball that? 'Cause
No, I
that's
just
a
was like, I'll have a vanilla Coke. I don't know.
that's a
I
bold
just-
order though. Like I don't
It was
know
bold,
anywhere that has
but
vanilla Coke
I,
on the menu.
I don't know.
I've never been to a restaurant that serves vanilla Coke ever.
Okay, that's fair.
Why would you?
This was a bougie place. I thought maybe they had like different flavored Coke. But they didn't say they didn't have it. They just were like, sure, we could do that. And then they were like, I just poured vanilla extract into a Coke. It's like, that's not.
Yeah, they
That's
kind
not
of
the
tried,
same.
I guess. Like you
That's,
could do a
that's
cherry
like the
Coke.
fucking.
Like you could
That's
do
like
like
the
a
we
Rob
have vanilla
Roy,
Coke at
not
home
a Roy
when
Rogers.
you're talking to your mom at the grocery store. You're like, I want vanilla Coke. It's like, we have it at home, and then your mom just like adds vanilla extract to your Coke.
Yeah, I mean you could do cherry Coke like a Roy Rogers, but I don't think you could just free.
I used to love that with grenadine and the Shirley Temple, the Sprite with the grenadine and the cherries.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like
exactly. It was
excuse
Sonic.
me.
It was a really high end place. They people like rolled up to you on like inline skate, or wait, no, not inline skates, roller skates. The like.
If you want a vanilla Coke, you got to go somewhere exotic, like a movie theater where they have all those different flavored Coke vending machines.
It's like, oh,
Oh,
you don't
yeah,
have
the
vanilla
vending
Coke, all
machines
the-
that let
all
you,
the
like,
Pepsi
choose.
Twist then.
Those vending machines are wild. You can get like vanilla Sprite there, which I
They
don't
have
know
those
why
at
you
Burger
would.
King too. Actually, Burger King has those like
Yeah, like the touchscreen ones.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you can like add flavoring. Like they have all the flavoring in there, so
Yeah.
you can do like
I had a
vanilla
grape.
cherry.
Now
I had
Now that I
grape
say it,
Sprite the other
fucking
day. It was pretty
Pepsi
good.
Twist was excellent. I wish they
What
brought
was?
Pepsi Twist.
I've never even fucking heard that. in
They
my
had
life.
like
What is that?
they would add like a little twist of like lemon, so it was like lightly scented like lemon Pepsi.
You know what? I think I do
Oh.
remember that. It almost
I do
reminded me
kinda
of like
remember
like an iced tea.
Yeah, it was good though.
I remember there was Coke Lime, and they used the lime in the coconut song to sell it. They're like, you put the lime
The
in
lime
the Coke.
in the
Oh,
coconut, you
God.
shake it all up. Put the lime in the coconut and call me
God,
in the
I
morning.
can't get over you order vanilla Coke at a restaurant. That's
I ordered
weird.
vanilla Coke, and they're like, no problem. It's just like, just say you don't have it. It's fine.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is true. That's on both of you. They could have just said like, yeah, we don't have it.
They could
That
have looked
reminds
at
me
me
of,
like,
like-
what are you, stupid? Like vanilla Coke, dude? We don't fucking carry that. I would have
Maybe
like,
it's so fine dining that they're like, okay, I guess we'll try.
do
and
That's what I'm
whatever
thinking. Is
you
you
ask
pay them
for.
so much, they're like, we're gonna find a way to do this because this weird kid ordered this and they're paying us so much. It
yeah.
reminds me of a
I was
It
much
doesn't seem
younger.
that
It was when
crazy. You could
vanilla
take like
Coke
the
was
little
big.
vanilla syrups like that you have like for coffee, and then just is that what they did, or did they put like straight vanilla?
said vanilla extract.
bake
It was like
wax, you
straight
bake with?
vanilla extract. It tasted
Okay, that's
really
weird.
like not. It was not good.
It reminds me of a. There's that scene in 30 Rock where like I think it's the lawyer for a dog comes in and they're like, do you want anything to drink? He's like, do you have drinkable yogurt? And they're like, no. He's like, then I'll have nothing. Go to like a fucking 5-star restaurant and be like, do you guys have like Danimals or anything? Like I get some drinkable yogurt.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's
like
like,
Max
just like
ordering
going
a
to your
vanilla
like
Coke.
friend's house and ordering like, oh hey, would you like a drink, Max? You're over here at the house. Oh, I'll have a root beer float.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't you? I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
You all
a-
McFlurries here?
I'm a guest at your place and you offer me a drink. I mean, I'll be like, I have an old fashioned with Templeton rye whiskey or with Templeton rye. We'll see if you have it.
Oh, do you remember the
Not-
what is it called? Like
I
the
will-
lunch pail in Bellevue where they have those alcoholic root beer floats?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like
Not Your
Lunchbox
Father.
Laboratory, I think it's called.
Laboratory, yeah. The boozy milkshake is like a new thing in like the last.
Dude, it's such a fucking stomach ache, but that place is actually pretty cool. Like, of the places in Bellevue, I don't mind hanging out there.
Yeah, there's one where I used to work in Redmond. It's called Tipsy Cow, and they had like boozy milkshakes. They were really intense though. They did not. They were pretty heavy-handed. So it was like you get this sweetness and then like a bite, like you just took a shot. It was really weird.
Yeah,
All that shit just sounds
I
like a stomach
agree.
ache right now.
It has to be made. It has to be made right too, though. Like,
How do you make it right, Max? Tell me how it's made.
I hate when you go to a fucking bar and you get an old fashioned and they put like fucking like crushed ice in it. It's just like, stop, don't, like, I'm not paying for this. Like, or I've had one recently. Like, I mean, I'll admit it's not like a super nice bar, but I feel like an old fashioned is like a cornerstone of mixed drinks. And they made me an old fashioned that was like with Sprite in it, and I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck. I just got.
I've never even heard of that before.
Wait,
like, old fashions aren't like diluted with anything other
What
than
bar were you?
Old
Did they just run out of Did they run out of like tonic water?
I don't know what the fuck. I mean, there's no tonic
Or
water in
soda
an
water
old
in it?
fashioned. It's literally just like rye, bitters, and then maybe like one of those dark cherries, and like maybe some like simple syrup, and that's it. At least the way I like them. I don't know.
Yeah, the really traditional way is that you soak a sugar cube in bitters, and you crush that into like a little like
orange
slurry, and kind of dissolve it in the bitters, and then it's whiskey, and that's it, ice.
Yeah, and then usually you have like
And then you
a
garnish
single
it with,
large ice cube. So you want like a single ice cube, like a very big ice cube. And if you're at a high enough end place, the ice cube itself is clear, like the ice is not opaque. That matters. If
You forgot the
like a
Sprite
snob.
remix is the most important ingredient.
I've seen people use like just a splash of soda water to
My dad
dissolve
does.
the just like a little bit, just to dissolve the sugar,
like a couple
and then
drops.
you add the whiskey and then ice, and then that's it. So the splash is
Yeah.
maybe with soda water you saw them do, and that was just to
No.
dissolve it. I would say that's
the
like
place-
borderline. I don't think it's that. It dilutes it ever so slightly, but it makes the sugar more
Yeah.
easily dissolvable. So I could go either way on that.
The place I
The
like,
people
I'll do
that like muddle like orange and cherry in with the sugar, that is a bullshit old fashioned. That is an amateur old fashioned.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like the place I go. He'll do like a sugar cube, drop the bitters on there, and then take like the peel of an orange, spray like the zest on top of that, mash all that shit up, add like the big ice cube, add the bourbon, and then take the same orange peel and like rub it around the rim of the glass, and then like drop the orange peel inside, and then sometimes they'll add like one of those black cherries, not like the really red ones, but like the really dark ones.
Yeah, like the
That's
Bordeaux
really good.
cherries.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good, but yeah, I don't know.
You can
I
do
feel
the
like-
singed orange peel too. That was
I feel
like the best
yeah,
part.
I feel like an old fashioned isn't hard to make, but man, people fuck it up. But for me, the big thing is like if you're gonna add ice to it, it has to be like a single large ice cube. If it's gonna be like regular ice from like your ice dispenser, I don't want an old fashioned from your bar.
Really?
All right.
It melts too fast. It's gonna like I'm trying to drink this like slowly over the course of an hour. The smaller ice is gonna melt so quickly. I'll be drinking like bourbon water.
Gonna give away the standard capacitor from Alien Worlds. Syndicates are live. That means you can vote for candidates to control the treasury of each planet. I am currently running on Naren. I'm not currently elected, but if you'd like to vote for me, I'd appreciate it. But if you just want to mine TLM and sell it, you can do that as well with this standard capacitor. But that is what we're giving away for our next race. And then, Max, if you want to start getting your DeFi brain ready, we will transition into market analysis and wax DeFi.
Let's take a look at what happened. This week was wild, guys. This is gonna be fun to look over and then talk about kind of the fallout that's happening.
Yeah, Lou has been elected. You have governing experience.
I've passed multiple votes in the Alien World governance system.
Yeah.
I'm one of maybe like 25 people that can say they've ever done that. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. How many planets are there? There's 30 people. So there's 5 people per planet and like 6 planets or something. Should probably know better if I'm gonna.
Yeah, and so when do the elections end on a weekly basis? Once a week. When does the new
Friday? Each
regime-
Friday, it's
Each Friday.
tallied. It's Friday.
It's Friday, baby. Fuck.
Remember when Rebecca Black was the biggest thing doing that super cringe song Friday? She actually like still has a career, which is kind of amazing. It's kind of crazy. Like some of those viral stars launch entire careers just based off of like weird cringe things, and they like transition to being artists people actually like. Bad Baby is the same way. Like Bad Baby is a legitimate musical artist that like people buy her records. Like she has millions of streams on her songs. And I'm like, this is the fucking girl just said "Cash Me Outside" and like got famous for that. But then like I don't know. I'm always
remember Miley Cyrus. She had Party in the USA, and now she's like way different. She's like trying to be like modern day Janis Joplin. So her career pivoted.
Yeah, but I mean,
I really like Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus was a famous singer as a teenager. Like,
yeah, she.
That's what
I'm
saying.
Like, she was Hannah Montana, dude. Did you know that?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I do know that. That's like how it's like. I'm just saying the progression of like Party in the USA was like the big hit, and then she's completely changed styles quite a bit.
Yeah, I like her album that she did with Flaming Lips. That shit's fun.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Called Dead Friends or Dead Pets or something.
Yeah, I really like the Karen Don't Be Sad song.
Mono Suerte pulling a legendary Neo from the Funko drop.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So is that the bullet time one or is that the Grail?
The legendary is the one in the. The legendary one is in he's in like a dojo. He's wearing like a gi.
Oh, sweet. That's the I Know Kung Fu one.
Yeah.
The animation's actually kind of fucking goofy on it. I'll pull it up after this race. He's supposed to be doing like a jump kick, but it kind of just looks like he's swimming in the air. It looks really goofy.
To be fair, some of those
funny
Funko proportions are pretty hard to. Oh shit! Is he gonna make it? No, he didn't make it.
Whoa!
Man, Morpheus looks a little weird. There's like no real defining features on Morpheus or the Neo, like the legendary Neo. I feel like the sunglasses are really what makes it feel Matrix.
Oh, nice. You got the twins. The twins are probably the only legendary I'd want. The twins are probably the only thing of the entire set. Burst was asking last night, I don't know if you ever got the question, are the twins, is it two of them or you just get one? Like you get one of the twins or is it two of them in one box? So you'd think like, I don't know why it'd just be weird to have one of the two twins because they're always together.
Yeah, right. You'd have to get two of the grails to get your twin set.
It's not a grail though, it's a legendary.
You have to get two legendaries in.
2-pack maybe?
The Freddy Funko looks kind of funny with like the duster and then the crown and the sunglasses. That one looks kind of cool.
Yeah, that one's pretty fun.
I like the twins just because, I don't know, they're a cool character. Like, visually speaking, I think they look cool. Like,
yeah,
I don't think Neo looks very cool, if I'm being honest. Like, he's just a white dude that wears like a black trench coat and fucking like black pants. Like, he doesn't have like a super cool look.
He's like, I'm not burning the duster. All right, I'm gonna share my screen here.
Real quick, I'm gonna do Funko first. I forgot it was Funko Day.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Matrix.Funko. You can get a pack for $10. Drop price.
Hey, that's not terrible. It's also that wax is so cheap.
That's basically drop price. And let's see for this premium pack. I think those are up a little bit though. I think are those 30 or 25 normally? It might be 30 though.
30.
Yeah, it's only up a little bit. Standards are a better deal though. 1078. That's like with the fees you pay for your credit card, you can't like this is drop price. Like you don't get them for exactly $10. You have to pay like tax and bullshit fees, and it ends up being like $11. So
what's the mint cap on the packs?
Mint cap is 18,750, I think, for both. Yes, correct. But here, let's look at the Legos. I like Trinity too, actually. Trinity would probably be the other one I'd want.
That's a classic shot there.
I also like that she
kicks through the glass. That's fun too.
Yeah, this doesn't even look like Morpheus, dude. This looks like a fucking like monk.
Yeah, I know. It's just like I think the nature of the Funko art doesn't really give you the ability to like define features as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like his skin tone isn't dark enough. Like, isn't Lawrence Fishburne blacker than this? Like, oh, that's a weird thing
as black as his picture, and then his Funko.
Look at the picture on the bottom right. That looks darker.
Yeah, that looks better. But like, this looks like an Asian dude to me. Like, it doesn't even look like a black guy.
Yeah, maybe
it looks like an Asian monk to me.
Something. But yeah,
that's Airbender. That's what I was saying. Like, this looks like the last Airbender more than fucking Morpheus.
Yeah, I could see that. that being like Aang's teacher or something.
But yeah,
Aang's
without the
teacher movies.
sunglasses, they just look like generic people. Like the Neo and the Gi kind of looks like that too. Not to sour on your shit.
Damn, the Neo is way more expensive. People are not giving that one up. Yeah, I think this animation looks goofy as fuck. Most
that
animations
looks
that are good. This is not a good animation.
Oh,
Look at his legs.
yeah.
That's supposed to be like the flying kick.
Yeah, they just kind of like it's like he's like dog paddling in the water or something.
Yeah, it looks like he's swimming in the air. Like that's what you look like if you're trying to like kick out of the water. But I think that's supposed to be like, you know, the Mortal Kombat kick at the end of the movie. Yeah, where he does the jumping run kick and like, boop, 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 boop. I think that's what it's supposed to be, but it just looks goofy as shit.
That's totally That's totally
like that hair. The hair looks a little bit more defining in that way to make it look kind of like Keanu Reeves. But I
This
don't know.
looks sick though. The twins are
The
sick.
background of this is dope. Oh damn, that's
The question is though, do you get 2 or do you get 1?
what?
shit, yeah,
That's
that
cool
was-
as shit. Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, those are dope.
Yeah, that's good.
And these are it looks like Neo and the twins are significantly more expensive than Trinity. Like Trinity's almost half the price of that in Morpheus. I think if you're gonna get a Neo, like I think the legendary Neo is kind of whack to be honest. Like
Yeah, I'd
Grail
go
or
for the
get the fuck
grill
out.
Neo then.
Yeah, sell for the Grail. Yeah, what's the Grail animation look like? Oh yeah,
Fucking
all the time.
awesome.
go to the site. Let's see. Digital Funko. The Grail has the best animation, I think, of all of them.
Yeah.
Do I go to catalog or?
All right, here, scroll down. Then the.
I do like. He's bent. Like this is one of the first. This is the somebody wrote. This is the first. I think they're outside of wax, but the first NFT Funko that is bent in the box. So like he's not standing up straight, and this is the first one from the NFT collection that is not standing up straight.
That's pretty dope. Let's see, what are the
Oh, here they are. So yeah, there's Neo. And he's bent in the box,
Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool.
and it's like a
wide
sideways box. It's not like a normal box.
They should have added like a drawing of like the
Dude,
bullets.
that's sick
flying
too.
past you.
Trinity's fucking like on a thing, and she's doing the kick. That's actually pretty dope.
Oh, she's like mid-air. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Oh hell yeah, you do get 2 twins.
You do?
Look at the box.
Yeah,
There's
they're
two
like
in there.
they're in the process of separating, basically.
Oh yeah, it's like
it's one character, but they're like slowly pulling apart because that's like how they worked in the movie. Yeah,
Wait,
I just
like
they were-
this.
They were
This is
able to
kind of
combine?
lame. Like this is also like Morpheus. Like I wouldn't know this is Neo unless you wrote Neo on this. Like if there was not
Yeah,
Matrix Neo on this box and somebody
exactly.
just handed you, I'd be like, I don't know, just some fucking random guy in a gi. What is this?
dude, the Morpheus one's bad.
Okay,
There you
this
go.
one's
He
way darker. He's
looks
way darker here than in the animation. That looks more.
I don't know, but he doesn't have like a cool pose or anything. I just feel like that one's kind of phoned in. He's just like lifting up one leg.
Yeah.
He's got the 2 fingers.
Oh, okay, I guess, yeah.
He should be doing the
Yeah.
that's like the Matrix.
I'm not the biggest fan of this Freddy Funko. I do like that he's doing the stop thing though. That's kind of cool. The stop for the bullets.
Oh yeah, that is fun.
But
I think the,
Yeah, the other
Neo
thing is-
leaning back or the twins are probably the coolest ones in this one.
Me
The
too.
Trinity actually also like with the flying.
I
kick,
think
that's pretty
twins
dope.
is the one I would want the most as far as like if I was gonna keep it, not sell it. I would put this on my. I'd add that to my third one in my collection. But I think the other thing, like, I mean, I'm sure this is not news to most people because most people who collect Funkos outside of this space would already know this. But like, the reason you're getting fucking Morpheus and Neo and a gi and not just like normal Neo is like, if you type in Matrix Funko, like they've already done these drops. Like this is not the first time they've done a Matrix drop. So in order to make exclusive ones that have not been dropped yet, that's why you get like Neo and Gi and like specific ones from like specific movies and stuff. Because like a lot of these properties that come to Wax, they've already done drops for in Funko, so they can't just do like the generic one that everybody knows. And that's also why I think like Jay and Silent Bob, that wasn't their first Funko. That's why they had like the weird pants down one and shit. It's because they have to do like weird variations to make them exclusive because they can't just keep re-releasing like normal looking Funkos.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's something that like I don't know, it took me a while to kind of catch on to. So I was like, yeah, like I don't know, why are they using like kind of weirder pictures of Morpheus and stuff? And it's probably because Morpheus has a normal Funko. Like let's type Morpheus Funko. Yep, he's already got a Funko.
I like the Morpheus wearing like the purple suit. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, they already
He's
have that
got
one.
the 2 guns. That's kick-ass. That's Morpheus.
And they already have an Agent Smith. So that's why you're like, oh, why didn't they make an Agent Smith? They already got an Agent Smith. Damn, the purple suit one's sick.
Purple suit one is fire. Yeah,
It's so much cooler than like this one, in my opinion. All right, now let's move on to tech talk. Sorry to interrupt. I forgot Funko Drop. Funko Drop is like the biggest thing that happens on Wax. So I feel like it's worth going over.
Yeah, no sweat. We had a pretty big week this week in crypto, too, guys and girls.
If you've been sleeping under a rock and haven't been in any of the chat rooms, some shit went down last week.
Yeah, so we're looking at the daily chart again, as we usually do on Ethereum here, and we're seeing a pretty extensive dump this week. Let's see, 1, 2, yeah, this happened around the 9th, right? 8th and 9th. So we did get our, we had been looking at this chart yesterday or last week already, expecting kind of a sell-off. The sell-off this week was a lot more dramatic than I expected it to be, and a lot of that was thanks to the FTX collapse that happened this week, and we'll talk about that at the tail end of this. But first, let's just look at purely the charts without any of the context of what's happening in the macro picture or anything else. So right now, we're closing days well below the middle Bollinger Band line. We are still selling off, making lower lows now on balance volume, meaning money is leaving these markets still. We are not all the way oversold, like we're not riding the bottom of the RSI here, the Stoch RSI, the Stochastic, the SRSI. So all of these things kind of are pointing at, the market has sold off and is now kind of finding
subscription, KY.
Yeah, hey,
We love these subs.
I also, before Max gets too deep into it, I just want to give our disclaimer: not financial advice. This is Max's view on the market, and technical analysis can be wrong. Like, it's based on what possibly could happen, but just because something could happen doesn't mean something else could happen. So, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't take this. Like, even though Max is very good at this and is right a lot, he isn't right all the time. So, don't put your life savings into the stream based on what we're saying. Like, But at the same time, a lot of people don't really understand technical analysis or how to do it. So we try to share that information with our community. But this is by no means like telling you what you should or should not do with your investment money, but maybe just another perspective that you can add to the number of voices saying things.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the goal here. I'm going to swap really quick to we're looking at the Coinbase chart right now. Let's look at like the Binance chart for Ethereum, just to get rid of all the lines I've drawn so far. And we can look at the chart just with the indicators that I've added. And I can give a quick overview one more time on that. So the way I'm looking at my chart here, this is TradingView. Anybody can jump into TradingView. You can, come up here, make your account. You can click here and change over to dark mode, because by default it is not. I'm actually not going to change it back. Well, I guess it did change back, so let's not. I like dark mode. So either way, where you can choose your asset up here. I've selected crypto. I just typed in ETH, and then you can see it'll bring up Ethereum markets across different platforms. So here you have this is calculated by TradingView. So this is like the market cap. This is kind of like an aggregate of all of these different feeds. Whereas here we have, like Binance, Bitstamp, Coinbase. So I was looking a second ago at Coinbase. So this is the actual real-time-ish, real-time being maybe behind like 5 or 10 minutes, because this isn't like a Bloomberg portal. But I think you can pay like a very high monthly subscription fee for TradingView to actually get real-time information. At which point, you could jump to like the 1 minute candles here, and you could see this market moving in real time. We're seeing it moving relatively real time, but this is like 5, possibly 10 minutes behind actual spot price on the books, because it's an API and it's loading all this info for us. But anyway, so we're looking at that asset here, Ethereum, and we're looking at it in the daily chart. So here we go, back to Ethereum. I'm going to jump back to Binance really quick. most of these charts are kind of like going to be similar. You can see on Binance, you had a very big exit of value through Binance here in when is this? Like in June 2022, kind of at the start of this. One second. Yeah, and then
There it is. Yeah, that took a while. I subscribed for my other account. I was waiting for the thing to show up, but I
nice.
resubscribed. Let's go.
Thanks for the sub, Lewis. We love these subs.
It's annoying if you do an Amazon sub, like if you do it through Prime, you have to redo it every month. You can't just like let it roll. So I forgot to redo it at some point. I just re-upped it.
All right, and then once you've chosen your asset that you wanted to chart, like I have chosen Ethereum now, there's this little indicators section up here. You can click on that, and the indicators I've added are SR. If you type in SR, it brings up the stochastic RSI. You click on that. I already have it, so it'll add this to your chart. Next, I have added the OBV on balance volume. That's what this is. And then the like these like bands here, this is called the Bollinger Bands. So if you just type in BB, there you go, Bollinger Bands will pop up. You can click on that and it'll add these lines. So what the Bollinger Bands are this is basically like a 200-day, well, depending on which chart you're looking at. Since we're at the daily chart right now, I think this is 200-day smooth moving average is the orange line, and then the blue extremities are, I think, 2 standard deviations removed from the orange line, and this based on the spot price. So the further the spot price goes from the orange line, the wider this obviously will get, and the closer we are, the nearer the range becomes. It's kind of like what we're looking at here. So once I've added all these indicators, your chart would look basically exactly like mine. There's nothing I'm doing that you can't do with a free account here. So let's take a look again. So we're looking, we got a big sell-off this week. We've been expecting the markets to continue to turn down. I'm going to jump back to our chart here. So we've drawn out months ago at this point, this blue line, which indicates kind of our general trend for this bear market. And I'm toggling back and forth to have it redraw the lines as I've changed my zoom. So you can see here is kind of where we started our bear market in, what is that, December 2021, kind of like maybe even October, November, December kind of area is where the market's peaked. And from here, we started moving down. I think around here, around July, August, we drew these lines. So this line has been kind of like our, I guess, our north kind of like guide here on showing us, okay, we're moving down as expected into these red areas, which is kind of like what we had initially marked out as the floor for this bear market. And we did actually hit that very early on in the cycle, but then pushed back. And you can see we pushed back only to where the trend line was drawn out to. And then we kind of hugged that trend line and are still moving down with it. Now, what's happened over the last 2 weeks or so, I'm going to redraw this line again. We had been pushed down along that trend line and then recently like kind of broke up above it. This breakout happened right around the time that the inflation numbers came out and the CPI reports and stuff, which kind of didn't make sense because inflation was really high. But you can actually see, and we were pointing this out too at the time, that when we pumped pretty aggressively, like back to these old levels here, the volume on balance volume here did not make a new higher high. It was actually closing lower than it used to be when we were at the same price. And that gave us the impression that this was still a bear market and we shouldn't flip our sentiment just because we've, broken above this line. And again, you can of course break above that line in a bear market too. We have significantly broken above it a few times already. But what happens then is comes back, the line kind of acts as resistance, and we bounced above it a few times until we lost the resistance, and then free fall kind of sell off until we find a floor and then kind of keep sticking to this line. That's still what I'm expecting to see with this market. So ultimately I'm going to zoom in a little closer again now. I'm looking for Ethereum and the rest of the crypto market to continue kind of trending down and hitting at least our first mark of the bear floor here, which is for Ethereum around $900 or $850 or so. beyond the 850, I think there is like a good support right now around 1,000, and then after that 1,000, we could drop all the way to like 700-ish or something. So we'll get possibly we could get a similar thing here, where we're sticking here, and then we get a hard sell-off over a few days. That hard sell-off giving us like the next leg down for our market here. And we can kind of get a more clear picture of that if I move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to switch over to one where we haven't drawn any of the lines yet. And then here I'm going to switch to the weekly. The weekly gets a lot easier to read, and also becomes a little bit easier to tell that we still have a decent amount of room down. So we're still looking at the same Ethereum chart now with like weekly indicators, and here you can see much cleaner, like I was saying. The smooth moving average is acting very clearly as the resistance line in this bear market. That's absolutely indicative of bear markets. In a bull market, that middle B-band line becomes the support. In the bear market, it becomes the resistance. And we can even see that, again, super clean on the way up. That middle line on the weekly chart meaning each one of these candles represents a full week. So each week that closed above that line, we were still in the bear market, or in the bull market, sorry. Here we had a couple weeks closing below, and then we continued to move up until we kind of lost it. Here again, it became resistance, and now we haven't really seen any weeks closing above that line, except for recently we had this very small kind of like close here. But while that was happening, we can tell that the on balance volume has been making lower lows. So despite the fact that we're closing above, we were still going to keep our sentiment short, which you can kind of see why that helps to give our sentiment here. And that would be looking at this. You can see, despite the fact that here, when we were closing weeks below the middle B-band line, which would be around the same price as here, this price for on balance volume, let me make a little bit more room on that. So the price that we saw here when we were over here, I'm trying to like keep this from before it started popping off again, but like the price that we were seeing on the on balance volume brought the on balance volume to around here, which at the same time the spot price used to be this range here for that resistance. So you can see here we're actually making a higher high or a higher low or whatever you want to call that. So like the on balance volume is still clearly climbing and never making those lower lows yet. So we might not have flipped our sentiment in that same way today. We were seeing some closes above here, but we're not seeing this making a higher high, or or we're still seeing basically the weekly making lower lows. Like as this height would have been around here, it's definitely lower than it used to be there. And then the previous time we saw the price action around there was like all the way back here. And if we go back there, green, so we're almost like right here. Like again, price, yeah, it's close. Like here we're higher, but here you can see still very much like either in line or lower. I don't know, this isn't flipping the trend yet. I want to see some weeks closing above the middle B-band line before I feel like we're out of the woods here. And you can see even on this Stoch RSI for the weekly, we're moving down currently, and we're closer to the overbought than the oversold side of this metric. So all of these things kind of combined to tell us that I think we're still very much in this bear trend. I think the markets are still selling off, and I think we should continue to take our approach with these assets with that sentiment in mind. So with that sentiment in mind, let's pop over to some of these other charts really quick and take a look at like wax, because we're in wax. And here we can see wax is actually broken now the 8-cent mark that we drew out also months ago for the first downtrend there. And you can see here actually if I zoom out further, our downward line here from the peak of the wax market, where we're basically just trying to like go across the peaks of these like heights, did get broken, but now is possibly going to correct back to this trajectory. So if we were to like extend our obviously not to the negatives. Move that a little bit. Make sure we're still hitting the tops of those. Yeah, but either way, so it looks like the wax market is also kind of getting a little sell-off. You get a little bit of that on balance volume metric here. This is looking at Qcoin. So, you know, with projects like Wax that are a lot smaller market cap projects, it actually, the on balance volume you shouldn't take with as much weight as we do on the Ethereum chart, because this might be different on different exchanges. So like, for example, we're on Qcoin now. If we go and switch that over to Binance, you'll see that's a completely different look, where like here it actually looks like the on balance volume is rising as the price is falling. So it looks like money is entering the Wax market on the Binance exchange while the spot price is falling. Whereas at the same time on Qcoin, we have money leaving this market. So it's not quite as reliable a metric when it comes to smaller, less mature markets. But either way, I do think we're seeing Wax very quickly approaching my next level here, which is around 4.5 cents. We're at 5.5 right now. And I actually bought some Wax at 5.3 cents recently. But I'm also not under the impression that we're done selling off. I think Wax is going to continue to move with the remaining markets. And over the last decade or so of the crypto markets existing, there has been this like cycle in play. So we could best see that on the weekly chart in Bitcoin. But if we go like all the way back
I'm
here,
never gonna financially recover from this.
there's been this cycle in play that kind of like, I guess it's a little harder to plot. Since
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back, but I guess Mark, if you can check the comments for Max, because you can't see him while sharing screen.
Yeah.
Burb.
Yeah.
We go shit.
I mean, I haven't messed with
I
it
totally
too much,
left and took a shit too.
but I'd
You're trading place.
basically, when you plot this on a logarithmic chart, and again, the difference between linear and logarithmic is really simple to understand. A linear chart is like we're seeing here, where we're going 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, 200, blah, 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 like all up in a linear fashion. A logarithmic chart is basically starts at 1, then the next interval is like from 1 to 10, and then the same distance that it takes from 1 to 10 is the same distance as from 10 to 100, is the same distance as from 10 to 1,000, is the same as from 1,000 to 10,000. So that's what a logarithmic scale is. When you plot these charts on a logarithmic scale, there has been a cycle that's kind of like the super cycle within crypto that is now reaching its floor, and it's possible that we are breaking this out of this cyclical like market condition if we continue to sell further in crypto. And the reason I think that it's possible we do that is because when we look at the macro picture along with our crypto picture, so I'm going to switch to the SPY here, you can see like the start of the sell-off in the crypto markets precedes a little bit the start of the sell-off, but then we preceded it and then we pumped back to the top, and then basically right around the start of October, end of November was the start of our bear market, which is very in line with here. We got kind of November, end of November is where the start of the bear market is for equities and the standard like the real, like the stock market. Real is not the right word. Either way, the stock market still has a long way to go down. I mean, this is the floor from the COVID. So these prices are pre-COVID, and we're still way above pre-COVID prices in the stock market today. I don't think we should be. Personally, I feel like the equity markets and the stocks are a little bit overvalued and are still due for a pretty hard correction down, at least to pre-COVID prices, like at least to here, which is still like another 40% from where we are now. Either way, those types of movements I don't think will happen in a vacuum as far as crypto is concerned. If these markets do continue to sell off that way, I expect the crypto markets to move with them. And if the crypto markets move with them, I expect the cycle to break for the first time since the inception of cryptocurrencies. So that cycle of like, every 2-year bear, 2-year bull kind of a market cycle isn't necessarily still
Is
in
that
play.
2-year bear, 2-year bull tied to the Bitcoin halving events, more or
Yeah.
less?
Yeah, more or less, it's very tied to like the Bitcoin halving events. It's like usually Bitcoin halves, and then like a few up to like half a year later, you get like the peak of the bear market or the bull
So
market.
what is this dinosaur on there? I'm very intrigued by that.
Oh, the dinosaur is the start.
Okay.
This is the very beginning of the information.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and then if you go to like other like stock equities, for example, like this one will have the dinosaur is like this market goes back to, what is this, 1993? Yeah.
So I mean, I guess I'm curious because there's like so many unprecedented like black swan events going on in crypto with this cascading effect of major exchanges just collapsing. So, but even with all of that specifically affecting crypto and not affecting the S&P and the broader stock market, that doesn't, I guess to say it doesn't have exposure in crypto is maybe technically not correct, but in broad terms, they kind of are independent things but follow the same trends.
Yeah.
So I mean, are you going to see crypto kind of run its own course because there's so much shit going down in the crypto space versus the stock market that you can kind of see some of these trends or some of these movements be independent of one another, or is the macro so zoomed out that it still would more or less follow a similar pattern, just maybe have a lower floor, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think they will follow each other, but like, for example, the events that affected crypto this week, here we're looking kind of closer again. Like, this is the crypto market, like this is the Bitcoin, which kind of like represented the entire market. And then here's the SPY in the same week or in the same time frame. So you can see we actually did disconnect from the SPY entirely this week.
But the thought it would just kind of slowly regress back to the average over time.
Yeah.
And probably
so I think
with one another.
These big like black swan events, like you were saying, do affect crypto independently of the rest of the market. Like, look at like this sell-off. We haven't seen anything like that in stocks lately, like in the last couple of weeks. I think we should probably peak around here and then continue to sell down. Like on the daily, we are, overbought. We are still selling off. Like, I mean, look at this. We're moving up back to these prices, but like the on balance volume is nowhere near that. It's very clearly still moving down. Money's still leaving. Oh, and then here these Ds are for dividend, when dividends are paid. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's kind of a cool metric to add on there. Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on which stock you're following, but it'll show you like all these different like things on the bottom here.
All right. Yeah, I didn't mean to take you off track there, but I imagine like over time, even though like they'll kind of resync with one another, the crypto and the S&P, and kind of get back into that same cadence. It's not exactly a good or a bad thing. It's just as far as the way things are played out.
There's definitely a lot of uncertainty within the crypto markets, the way it's running, especially this last week. The uncertainty, not just in the security of using your broker, for example, which is like the big FTX collapse, which is very contagious to the rest of the like centralized crypto market scene, and I'll talk about that in a second. But there is also like I kind of lost my thought actually. What I was gonna say.
Well,
how to start that?
But here's a question for you, by the way. Like, can you explain overbought versus oversold as far as how you use that terminology and what it means?
Oh yeah, sure. So I consider the overbought, oversold as basically just a range on the RSI. So the RSI is the relative strength index, and it'll just basically it's plotted like this. When it's within this bluish area, then you're within just a range. Your asset is ranging, but then when it is above the blue area, I'm considering that overbought, and if it goes below here, it becomes oversold. The longer, like basically the way I trend this like metric is like, you see, once we get to like flat line oversold, we tend to have some type of rebound. So you can see that in the price as well.
And so what is the RSI? Do you know what the RSI is based off of, like what those metrics mean?
Let me not give it incorrectly, but I think Investopedia has that. Here it is. Investopedia. This is it. Yeah. Relative strength index is a momentum indicator that is technically used in technical analysis. RSI measures the speed and magnitude of securities' recent price changes to evaluate overvalued or undervalued conditions in the price of that security. So I'm using overbought and oversold to kind of be interchangeable with overvalued or undervalued based on
based on the momentum of trading,
yeah.
and the probably magnitude, meaning the size and frequency of orders in a certain time frame. So I think typically what Max does is when he looks at the RSI, it correlates with the market movement. So if you go back to TradingView, Max, like you can see over time when if the bottom is oversold, or I guess the bottom's oversold, right? You can kind of see in the timeline where it's that kind of can be an indicator of a floor or a resistance, I guess, or support,
or just like running out of steam. Like usually it's like the market is selling off, and then look at this, it ran out of steam on selling off, and that steam is basically being tracked by the RSI. So here we're getting a little pump back, and that pump back is being we're correcting, we're no longer oversold. And then here you can even see you use that in conjunction with this middle line of the B bands. Now that we're closing full days below it, we would assume that the middle B band line becomes resistance. And what do you know? It definitely did. Once we hit that middle line, even though we were not overbought yet, we could, start basically, we started selling off again. We sold off, and we kept selling off until we ran out of that momentum again. The momentum runs out here, and then again, retries to build back the RSI, and look at that. It gets rejected again.
Get the question?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now.
Okay, sorry. I'm just popping back in.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's an indicator among other things. It's not the end all be all, but if you could say, like, for example, there's like one of these. I'm pointing. God damn it! I like point like everyone can see what I'm pointing at.
Don't lie. Okay.
There you can see where like some of the chart kind of moves closer to the B bands line, like where it's under the B bands line, so it implies that's kind of in bear territory, but it might break through. And you're like, okay, well, maybe it'll close above the B bands, which would be a positive indicator. But as it started to reach that asymptote, but then you look at the RSI, and the RSI implies it's overbought, so it's losing steam on that upwards momentum. So those two things combined, if you just look at the B bands, you could say, oh, well, maybe this could break through. But then you look at the RSI, and it shows overbought, and those two things together could give you a sentiment that, well, maybe this is topping out, and it'll bounce off the B bands line and come back down and actually stay below that, and kind of, so all those things kind of together paint the picture of how you can draw conclusions on what the data is telling you.
Yeah, exactly. And then the lines here, you'll see there's two lines. So there's a blue and an orange line. The orange line is effectively like a moving average of the blue line. So basically when the blue line is in front of or to the screen left of the orange line, then we're moving up. When the blue line is in screen right of the orange line, we're actively moving down. So you can see right now the orange line is still in front, so left of the orange line, so we're still moving up currently. But you see that here, like all these little spots, it'll cross, and once it crosses, it starts moving down. And once it's moving down, you do get like multiple candles in a row of the down motion. Same with here. Once it crossed, we started moving up. We're getting that up motion. So it does a pretty good job of kind of like giving a picture of like where we currently are in the in the asset that we're looking at. Like, is this it helps me enter and exit, like time and enter and exit by simply looking at where we are relative to the middle Bollinger Band line and where we are on the Stoch RSI. But yeah, so there's a lot of indicators you can use. So if you go to indicators, like you can go to technicals, and like this list is just very, very long. And you can, people will add all sorts of lines and like arrays and metrics to their chart. I try to stick to just 3 indicators because by default, if you have a free account on TradingView, you only get 3. So I try to keep it in a way where like anybody can replicate the setup and anybody can kind of like relatively easily read this stuff by just being like, oh, this is overbought. This is like a resistance line in orange is being drawn for me in real time. This is showing me money moving into or out of the asset that I'm eyeing. So it's like these 3 kind of very broad term like indicators that kind of all come together to paint different portions of the same picture and hopefully give us as clear an indication as we can get from something that is as subjective as technical analysis.
Yeah, bringing into focus enough for you to make an opinion on your sentiment of this asset. And then, all of this, the broad strokes is colored by the individual investor as well. So, you can have all of these indicators and say, okay, well, I think this asset's moving this way or that way. And that gives you like a correlation, but how you then buy or sell or engage with trading this asset depends on what your goals are, right?
Also, where you bought it at, like, I bought Ethereum at $30. I can sell right now and be at a profit. If you bought Ethereum at the fucking peak of this bull run and then you sell it, you'll be at a loss. So we can sell at the same time and have different outcomes depending on like our individual investment strategies, which is why like there's never a one size fit all buy sell. Like,
yeah, because everyone can look at this picture differently. It's in the eye of the beholder because every person has different levels of money that they want to trade with, different risk profiles, and different existing portfolios of cost basis or other assets or any sorts of things. So there's like so many things that are deep, like personal as well, depending on how you want to trade. That depends on how you see this picture, but at least these are the tools in which you can focus it to draw your own conclusion based on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and
I also think it takes a long time to be able to do this. So just like, I mean, I still can hardly even do TA, but like just seeing Max do it every week for like 6 months, I'm starting to learn more as far as like, I don't know. There's no way to really understand a market unless you look at it like every day for fucking months. Like it's hard to get the big picture. You can look at the charts, at least for me. Like I can look at the fucking 2-year chart and like the difference between like just checking on the price daily and kind of seeing that, like, I don't know. It's a lot to like learn the market and learn like what is normal movement in a week and what is normal movement in like a month. And like, I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is that way, but like for me, it's hard to like look in the past, but like if it's unfolding while I look at it, then I feel like I have a better understanding of like how that shit actually plays out than just looking at graphs personally.
Yeah, I think that's a good point Lewis is making, because like just with what we're saying right now about this technical analysis, we know that our range that we could see Ethereum trading in while still maintaining very bullish sentiment is still anything below this middle Bollinger Band line. So if we make it all the way back up to like 1425 or something, right? Like pretty much that's like $200 more than we're at right now, and that's like a 15+% increase in price. That might fool people who are seeing this 15% jump and be like, oh, bull market's back, baby, like let's jump back in. But we're not even breaking above like the smooth moving average or something like that. So then like I'm very easily expecting to stay within kind of like the range that I've drawn out here in colors, where the green is the very top of that range. If we move above that, then I might change my sentiment. The red being like, oh, I'm expecting to like either, take some short sell profits or maybe buy some more Ethereum at these lower ends. But everything in between here feels normal to me. And that range is what, like 1700 down to 800. So this is a huge range, like 100% profit from here to here.
Yeah, and I think defining hard lines of saying, okay, well, like I'm going to take definitive action at this line and definitive action at this line, and everything in between is kind of just noise. It helps you kind of build a strong stomach as the volatility happens in between, because now you've set some boundaries and expectations, and so however much it swings wildly, you have guardrails on either side, so you don't panic in between. And the biggest variable that is detrimental to your success is emotional reactions when trading.
And these things also, like when we zoomed out to the weekly chart, that's a good technique for anybody who's reading charts. Change it to the weekly and take a look at the weekly along with the Bollinger Bands, and it is very clean. Like we're clearly not like closing above these like on the weeks very often, and when we do, we're getting rejected relatively fast. Within the next candle, we're already dumping right back down. And using this weekly kind of should help like give you the general direction, and then zooming into the daily and even like the 4 hours, once you get like a little bit more comfortable with this kind of stuff, it's a lot more noisy and there's a lot more of these fake out kind of like things happening. But using the wide shot, basically like the zoom out to the weekly to give yourself your overall sentiment, and then using the closer range stuff to give you an idea of, is today the day I might enter a position or not? And that can help, those targets can be used, really well with these kind of, here we're way oversold. So it's like, even though we're oversold, look at how we've come back up to overbought, but the price didn't really do much. So, the price doesn't have to climb as these indicators, the volume indicator or the momentum indicators change. But either way, all of this stuff is just tools to help give a better sense, and hopefully ultimately my goal when I do technical analysis, I want to bias my decisions. Like I chose to go short on Ethereum. Let me look at the chart and bias that opinion. Like, am I correct? Should I add to like this? Like, should I remain in this position, or is the bias shifting based on what like the daily chart movements are happening? So looking at all these charts, we definitely got a sell-off. The sell-off was much more aggressive than I honestly anticipated, and there's a reason for that. And let's dive into the reason a little bit. But first, let's really quickly go over our 100 wax investment. So as part of our Tuesdays series here, we've been taking 100 wax and investing it within the wax ecosystem. I have
under-invested by a lot.
And let's go through and visit on that investment right now. So I'm gonna jump first into, let's exit.
Man, Neon getting close to double digits.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, that's more of an indicator of wax being low price, like wax being around 6 cents. But it is kind of cool to see it almost get to 10 wax for Neon.
Let's go. I've also been so I do a lot of yield farming on my wallet that you just saw called Yield Farming. And what I've been doing there is like I have farms for like USDC, USDT, USDT wax, and USDC Neon. So actually I can show you here the Neon farms that aren't wax Neon. So the wax Neon farms you maybe are even participating in, and thanks if you are, that's cool. Where you add Neon and wax, and then every week Mark's has been sending out Neon liquidity rewards. But you can see here the non-wax based pair farms. If you scroll all the way down, they're the two biggest ones of those are also me. One of them is USDT USDC.
Saw me, baby.
So, saw me, baby. I think I own like 99% of this position. And then this one is Neon Wax USDC. So Wax USDC is a USDC, which is a stablecoin wrapped asset. There just isn't a lot of liquidity for this. The liquidity for wax wrapped stablecoins mostly exists in Tether. So
there's not a lot of that either.
There's not a lot of any of it.
Now people are a little leery of bridges, myself included.
And that's a fair point. You should be. USDT. So you can see the majority of the liquidity for the USDT token lives here, where there is a bilateral depth of about, what is that? So that's 1,400 wax. Oh no, $1,400. Okay, good. Okay, there, it's 26,000 wax. So it's about 52,000 wax total liquidity in this pool. That's more or less the liquidity available for USDC. But what I've been doing is I've been, taking my yield. I'll come here and I'll take, like, let's say 10 wax, or let's say I'll just buy like $1 worth of USDT with my earnings from like yield farming. So I'll get $1, then I'll take that $1 and I'll come over to the swap here. And because I own this pool, I can then take my $1 and I'll get the arbitrage profit from it, $1.05. So 5% arbitrage right away. this $1 goes directly into the pool that I already own. The 105 gets pulled out of that pool, but I basically keep the arbitrage without having to like.
And you're slowly trying to convert wax from USDT to USDC.
And then what I've been doing after that is I take the USDC and I buy Neon with it.
Oh, I
So
see.
then
Okay.
that'll be 1.05. So I get my Neon for my $1 there, and then I've been taking that and buying the blend packs because they're getting axed soon. I wanted to pick them up, but that also definitely helps the wax Neon price increase over time, because the only way for me to get my Neon out of the wax USDC pool, people are out behind the scenes buying Neon from the wax Neon pool, then using that to buy USDC and arbitraging the opportunities that are created by my activity, which is cool. That's how decentralized markets work. That's how all markets work.
Real quick, Dread asked, how about Waxy? And I'm not exactly sure what that's in reference to. I did answer Waxy is on Ethereum. It's an ERC20 token. It's not on Wax, so you can't do anything with Waxy on the Wax
any
network.
Wax E DeFi exists on Uniswap, or I guess on Ethereum-based swap markets, I guess is a better way to put it. But there is incentivized Wax E liquidity pools.
My question though is, can you clarify how about Waxy? What is that in reference to? Like, I'm sure that was something Max said, but I don't know what he was talking about when he asked that question. So if you want to clarify what your question is about Waxy, like, we have positions in Wax on Ethereum. We are participating in that. We are knowledgeable about that. We could help you. We just need to know what you're asking.
Yeah. So here is, if you go to the token bridge in the Cloud wallet.
Maybe he's saying Waxy is a bridge token when you're talking about how Tether was a bridge token or wrap token. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the question was.
Here we go. Okay, so I can jump into this really quick here. So here's the Wax E. If you're in the Cloud wallet, there's a token bridge here, and you can see that Wax P and Wax E are bridgeable assets. So Wax P is like the Wax that you have in your Wax wallet. That is the native token currency for the EOSIO based blockchain that is Wax. You're using Wax to pay network fees, or in EOSIO, you use the Wax to stake for network resources to cover network fees. So this is like the native currency, right? Wax E is an ERC20 token, which is a token that's minted on the Ethereum blockchain, and this is a bridge. So yes, if I send my 21 Wax, I would receive 0.021 because it's 1,000 to 1. I need 1,000 Wax to create one Wax E, and it's the same both directions. So if I were to return 5, I would get 5,000, and I could say get my Wax P for this.
Mercis is asking, is this how I bring USDT to Wax? And yes, this bridge is also.
This is the same bridge. Scroll down a little bit here, and you got the token bridge. Here you got if you buy the Wax USDC, like I just bought, and I got a I got a 5% arbitrage opportunity there. I could now come here, choose that Wax USDC.
You have to link a MetaMask wallet
to my Ethereum wallet. The way that this works is I would I could take my Wax, like if I have my Tether in here, for example, Wax USDT, I could take like 100. Let's do 100. Hey, come on. 100. So if I actually have it, I would have it in my wallet. I could then just say convert. This wouldn't be blocked out. You'd sign the transaction from your Wax wallet and then wait like 10-15 minutes.
Okay. The question he's asking is about the liquidity position. Is it worth it to do Waxy liquidity is what he's asking, more so than how to convert it? Finally got to what he's asking.
The returns on the Waxy distribution pool have been, for the past few months, each epoch is 1 month. For probably the last 4 to 6 months, it's been close to 5 to 6%, which is
still significantly more than the staking Wax.
I thought
especially since Genesis rewards ended.
5%, isn't it?
No, a bunch of that percentage went away from the Genesis rewards because Genesis was paying out part of that 5%, right?
Oh, good point. Yeah.
And then Genesis staking rewards ended, so I think it's much less than 5%.
So I'd saying worth it is like a relative term, but I would say that you would need a certain baseline of assets to really like have. You don't put $50 because of gas fees to get into that liquidity pool position. But if you want to know returns, they posted in the Wax core team Discord, every month when they give out the rewards and wax supplies.
This is not my
not
financial advice, but I personally enjoy participating in that pool. And I think it's a good pool to be in long term, but only if you believe in Wax and Ethereum long term, because you are splitting 50% of your value into Ethereum. So if you believe in Wax more than Ethereum, you might not want to participate because you could end up with more. Like, let's say Wax goes 100x and Ethereum goes 5x. You're going to trade all that Wax into Ethereum. So, like, depends on how bullish you are on each. But if you're equally bullish on Wax and Ethereum, I think it's a great long term position personally. And I've been in there. I haven't touched it.
It
in like
very
8 or
much
9
is like a set it and forget it kind of thing.
a
So if
very
you want to set it and forget it
yeah.
for 5%, and it can get higher. It's based on the volume of.
It's been up to 107.
It's based on the volume of sales, really. So when things are really soaring in Farmers World, it was paying out like 25%. So, like Lou said, if you're bullish long term,
literally the entire time I've done it, never been lower than staking Wax, like the percentage return.
True,
it
yeah.
has not. It just hasn't. And like it gets close, but it's never been lower.
And then for Dan's question with the UST Wax bridge, with Max showing that token bridge, the value in that token bridge is supplied by the Wax core team. So I think there's like $1 million or something of each of these stable coins in the bridge. Now there hasn't been a lot of use on it, and I don't think you're trying to bridge $1 million, but that I don't know if that's a fixed amount, but in general, you
can't bridge $1 million because you'd have to source $1 million.
The Wax core team on each of
you'd
those.
have to, yeah, to bridge $1 million out of this bridge to Ethereum, you'd have to source $1 million on the Wax blockchain. That doesn't exist.
Yeah,
like I could show you right now here if I go to like yield farming.
So I mean, besides gas fees, like if you don't source like wrap tokens anywhere other than the official token bridge because it's already there, I guess. So if you were looking to get Wax USDT anywhere other than the official bridge, I would say you're probably paying more fees and or getting scammed potentially.
I was lying. It does exist on chain, but 998,000 of the $1 million is in the bridge.wax wallet. So of the USDC that exists on Wax, 99.88% of it is still in the bridge wallet. And when it's in the bridge.wax wallet, it means that the USDC is available on the Ethereum side. So, and then like the rest of it, pretty much I own. I guess this guy's got 244. That's a pretty big amount for on Wax. 120.
Let me
Some
show
people
off.
have a few.
I think.
Oh, here I still have 16. I'm 8th with just $16.
I took your screen off for a second just because I want to show. Dan had a tweet today that I think this is related to. He said, heck, we'll make it so every item in Immersis can be swapped for USDT, Wax, and Fate. He's making it so like every single item in, I believe, I could be wrong. If you're still here, Dan, you can help clarify. And I mean, I see you post on Twitter, but I haven't been following super closely. Basically, I think he's making FT versions of all the NFTs. So like there will be an exchange, like a DEX for Immersis, where you can swap all of the fungible token versions of the items in Immersis with each other, but then those will also be paired with Wax and USDT. So you can like any asset in Immersis will be tradable Wax, USDT, and within the other assets in Immersis.
Oh,
so
like the
like
resources, like you could trade out all your stone.
Yeah, instead of doing it as an NFT though, you could do it as an FT, so you wouldn't need to find a buyer immediately. You would want, like, you know, you could just immediately swap for that. You could be like, okay, I have a shit ton of stone and I want to get some wood or whatever. You could just swap it and then swap into it. And Dan replied, yes, but I want a stable token involved in it, and there is not much. So I think Dan actually does want to know for like he might need to move over USDT to make the liquidity for his own DEX.
The pool is small. I own, I think, 34% of
I'll
the
put your screen back
pool.
on, Max, if you want to.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, there's Max puts most of the Wax USDC liquidity or
for
USDT
sure
as well. But anyway,
USDT, I have, I think, like, so there's $1,400 in this pool. I think like 600 or something of that is me. So it's like I'm like 30-something% of this.
But it seems like a lot of the stable coin liquidity you were putting on the market in DeFi platforms was on DeFi box, so you could pair it with Neon. So I think there's more wax stablecoin liquidity on DeFi box purely because of Max, because he's the only one who seems to do it. But
yeah, but that's
if you're looking for where the most liquidity exists right now, it's probably on DeFi box.
Max can't read this because his screen's off, but I'm the KY says Max puts the D in USDC.
Nice.
He's got big.
Yeah, I mean for USDT, yes. For
He's
USDT,
got big USDC energy.
For USDT, yeah. For USDC, yes. USDT, no. If you want, I can move my liquidity to DeFi box, and then yes, it will be the deepest pool. But I moved it back to Alcor because there was more trade volume going through this pool than there was through the USDT Wax pool here. And I make my money because none of these pools are incentivized. So as a person who owns these tokens, I make my return from people actually trading against the pool. So that happens more on Alcor. So I moved back to Alcor. But yeah, if you want to, basically, if you want those pools to be deeper, you have to supply the liquidity. It doesn't seem like anyone else is doing that right now. And the way to do that would be...
Although if you incentivize it, I feel like the market...
No one's incentivizing either. Like DeFi box, crypto wave incentives, Taco's not incentivizing it.
Like... Wax that I've ever seen has incentivized a stablecoin liquidity pair. So if...
Yeah,
I mean,
they should. These tokens are legit as fuck. Like these tokens...
Like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you incentivize it, they will come.
So yesterday, I don't know if anyone noticed, yesterday the USDT value was 81 cents. On Wax. I actually bridged like over my Wax E, brought it into Wax P, and then used the Wax P to buy the pool back up to $1, exploiting almost a 20% arbitrage opportunity in the process. So I bought Wax E with USDC on Ethereum, and I bridged the Wax E over, and then I bought the USDC on Wax with it back, or the USDC back at a 20% discount towards what I had just bought it the Wax for. Because these opportunities constantly exist, because these pools are so fucking shallow and the market is very immature on the Wax side. Very few people are trading these assets, and there is pretty big, like 20% on stable coins is huge. And it was like, oh, I'll just take my Wax, buy the stable. Like you can straight up see where I did that yesterday if you look at the price on or it'll be, yeah, pretty much just bam, exploit that opportunity. It was way out of sync, and then I like put in a big order like that, and you can see, you know, volume spikes, and it's not like that much money, you know, it's like a couple thousand Wax. So you do like an order like that is what, like, yeah, 300, 500, like a few hundred Wax, but then you're getting like 20% more USDT than you spent on the Wax in the first place. But those kind of opportunities are a little bit hard to calculate, because to now move back the USDC USDT that I got, I would have to come back to the Wax bridge, bridge it out, and like I said, I'll send it from my wallet through this, and then I'll have to come up here to claim. And to do the claim, once this is finished, it'll say, oh, hit claim. So you click, it'll have a claim button. You click claim, and then you sign the claim transaction from your Ethereum wallet. At this point, it's going to cost an Ethereum transaction fee. After that signature, you will receive your Tether tokens or your USDT, USDC, whatever you're bridging. So you'd have to basically be able to factor the fee it's going to cost to move through the bridge into to less against your arbitrage profits.
I think we should. We haven't done the 100 Wax investment, right?
Yeah, let's jump into that.
We haven't done 100 Wax investment or FTX, and you've been talking for an hour, so let's move on to let's keep it going.
Yeah,
to something new.
If
we want to do a bridge thing, we can do either Dan. You can have Max. Max loves talking about this sort of stuff. Or if more people are interested, we can do a bridge talk next week. But I feel like we're gonna go. Like if we go too heavy,
bridges are fascinating. There's so many different ones. We should definitely dive into it. Let's look at how we've done this week, though. So last week we had about 110 left in here, and since Wax has taken a pretty hard hit, look at that. We're up to 127 Wax. Bam, that's not bad. So this was where we kept our 100 Wax, and I think as part of what we should do this week with this is to maybe take some of the Wax out and keep this at 100. Because again, our goal is to grow our position in Wax, and by having this 100 Wax in the Wax USDT pool, we're hedging against Wax dropping further in value by having a 50% of our wax position in USDT, so that as the wax value drops, we're buying more wax with our USDT. We can take a look at how that looks really quick here. Go to liquidity, and we can see. So we started with 46 wax on the wax side, and $4.74 on the dollar side. We're now at 63 wax on the wax side, but down to 350 on the dollar side. So this is what is known as decay loss, or potentially people will refer this to as impermanent loss in supplying liquidity. To us, our goal was to earn more wax over time, and we are achieving that goal. We're up 27%, since we started with 100. But if the goal was to build value over time, the equation gets more tricky to chart here, since we started with 475 ish, so that would be a 950 total value, and now we're down to 350, so that's $7. So we went from 950 to $7 in value, despite the fact that it is actually doing what we want, and we have more wax now. The wax is worth less in dollars. We weren't trying to go for more dollar value, so this is still exactly what we want. But I would like to take some of this. Say again?
It's decay gain. I don't know. I mean, I guess depending on what the lens you look at, it's not really considered loss, since it's playing in the direction of what you were trying to accomplish inadvertently, but still, it's a net gain.
The nice benefit of all that too would be that if you're doing this kind of stuff at scale, your goal might be to accumulate more wax, but now you're doing that while also writing off a tax loss. Since this is effectively a paper, like if once you realize this, you're losing, like we went down from we lost $2 out of this.
Yeah, that is a really good point. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities for tax loss harvesting this year for crypto folks. It's more of your ability to do the bookkeeping.
Yeah, that's the trick.
There's a lot of self-accounting you got to do, particularly on wax, given that it doesn't have the same sort of tools that Ethereum does. But you can capture a lot of losses this year if you just keep track of all the trades.
Yeah, so I think let's take a look at how we've done with the rest of this position before we do any moves.
Jeff is roasting you for talking about Box a lot and being gay. He's like, I didn't think you liked Box.
Okay,
and my joke was, you're going to make your own exchange, and the token's going to be called the Bussy token.
Yeah, that's good too.
I don't get it. What does Bussy mean?
Boy pussy.
Boy pussy.
Oh, I had no idea.
Butthole pussy is what I like to call it. Butthole pussy.
Butt pussy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's yield farming, for example. Again, I just show this wallet. I'm doing literally the same strategies we're doing.
Where
I'm doing wax, wombat, brawl, taco, and then CMW wax, and pretty chunky positions too. This is 8,000 bilateral wax. This is 4,000 ish wax, I think. But this kind of stuff is, it scales, so you don't have to do this with tiny amounts like what we're doing here, for example. So let's switch over to the DeFi wallet. Whoops, that's first. I saw the .ftw. I was like, that's it. Okay, let's try that again.
Not to be confused with .ftx.
Yeah. DeFi, there it is.
For the win.
So
for the win.
Last week we added a couple liquidity positions. We created a CMW wax. This was about 15 wax, so we're down 5 wax on the wax side, meaning bilaterally we're probably down 10 wax on this position. And this was about 5. We're still around 5 right now, so this one's hold its own. But now we can collect the yield from the week. So you can come up here to the wallet, account rewards. And then we can see here we've earned 15 Wombat tokens and 16 CMW tokens. So let's claim both of those. And this week, the CMW token took a huge hit. I think it dropped 60% on one of the days this week, and then has kind of been slowly climbing back, but definitely hasn't regained its former value. And we can see that really quick here.
Is the Wombat pool incentivized?
Yeah, the Wombat pool is incentivized. So you see here, to see the chart, there's a little chart picture there. Click on that and go to 7 days. And here you can see CMW token in terms of wax. It was trading at 0.2 and dropped all the way to 0.08. So huge drop in value which is why we've lost a decent amount of our wax value from that pool. Now that it's so far down, let's start by swapping out our rewards into wax. So I'm gonna go wax, and then I want to swap our CMW. That gets us 1.5. So like I said, we started with 15, so bilateral 30, 1.5 in a week is about 5% of our total initial value. So we're making about 5% a week in the CMW pool still at these rates. And then let's take a look at the Wombat. We had 5 bilaterally, so 10 total, and we're making 0.5 from 10, also about 5%. So 5% per week from that yield. That's not bad. So we're going to swap both of those into wax first, and then let's decide what we want to do. So the Wombat pool has been pretty much flat about over the past week, I think. Let's see. We had a nice little spike and then a drop. So the Wombat pool, okay, down around 8%, but we're printing about 5% in that same week. We're kind of standing still at the moment. I still like Wombat tokens. I think they're built by a capable team. I think they have like real vision and an idea for what to do with it, and I believe that they are building value for their holders. It's definitely a speculative play. It's not like, oh, I think that, you know, here's the value, I can point to it and why it's worth something. It's more that here's the people behind it, and I believe that they're genuine people who are capable of succeeding in these goals. So for that reason, I'm still a fan of Wombat. I mean, you saw my yield farming wallet has, you know, like 100,000 of those tokens. So personally, I like that pool. CMW, I don't dislike, but I dislike the price action this week, especially. So let me check that again. CMW. I'm not sure if should we stay and hope for this to kind of get closer to where we started at, or should we dip out, or should we do a split the difference? And I feel like the move will be to split the difference between those two. So let's go back to the liquidity page. We have 10 and 5 here. I'd like to switch that. I'd prefer to have the 10 wax position be the Wombat position and the 5 to be the CMW. And let me just verify that we're not too far apart on the yield margin for that to actually make sense. So by that I mean I'm going to check how much these pools are paying. This one pays 370%, while the Wombat pool is currently paying 226. It's a pretty substantial difference. So I guess, you know what we'll do, what I think we should do instead is let's reduce our hedge position by 20 wax, and then take that 20 wax and add it to the Wombat pool. So
KY also asks, are you staking them for VIP status yet?
I am not. All I'm doing is yield farming them. Like, I honestly don't really know what all the other utilities are. I'm just waiting for it to have a utility for, like, if I can stake them to the Neon Space collection to produce more yield for our collectors. I'm very interested in that. So I want to have be building a position in Wombat tokens for a potential future use case for creators. But I'm not sure if that's even in the stars yet. I'm just kind of like going into it because I really enjoyed talking to the
YOLO.
Honestly, I feel like the guy really knew his shit, and I think he's building in a way that makes sense. The token exists on QuickSwap with pretty deep liquidity over on the Polygon chain. You can trade out of it on Qcoin. Like, they really are
built out infrastructure too. I mean, they have the games,
they understand what
Dungeon Master, they have EOS,
I think Cryptia might have launched,
and they have their own wallet. So I feel like there's a lot more of an ecosystem around Wombat than a lot of other projects that have tokens. If you're trying to compare, at least,
can someone confirm or deny it a Cryptia launch? I think it might have launched.
I'm not sure.
I can find in their announcements.
Let's see. So here, really quick, I'm going to talk over what I'm doing. I went to my liquidity pool. I say reduce liquidity. I want 10 since I want to remove 20 total. So I'm doing 10 bilaterally. Confirm and sign.
It is live. Cryptia Season 1 starts now. Discover everything.
Oh.
Guess we can go over this tomorrow for Wax Wednesday, though. Oh, it's not going to work for us anyway. It's only for Taco VIP holders, Taco Universe sauce holders, and Discord Top Tacos. I am none of those things.
Not yet.
Man, Top Taco sounds like a sweet title, though.
Yeah, so here we go. So now we're keeping 106 wax in this pool. That's exposed still to wax and USDT, but we now removed some of this. So let's take a look at where we're going to get the best deal on our USDT that we just pulled out, because we also want to turn that back into wax. So USDT for wax on DeFi box is currently going to give us 10.06. At the same time, oh well, I guess let me go over here first. I doubt it's better here, but let's see. USDT for wax on Taco Swap is 9.9.
I got hairy legs.
It's worse on Taco, but here the deepest liquidity pool for Tether exists on Alcor, so theoretically it's going to be best on Alcor. So let's swap over to Alcor, take another look here. We're sending into the wallet, and here we're getting 10.0987. So it's close, but we are getting 0.03 more, and that doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it is 0.3%.
Benefits everybody.
So let's do that. Let's get the best deal here. We're gonna swap against this pool. All right. So now we've pulled some liquidity.
There aren't too many legends around.
And we're going to use that to participate further in this pool. So let's go to the swap, go here, wax, and now we're going to get the counterpart on that. And then here we got 22, so we want half of that, so 11. That gets us 313 more Wombat tokens. Sign that. And let's add this to our liquidity plus liquidity. Then, oh, there you go. Now it updated. Let's see. Which one of these is the way to go? Wait, it wants 8,000 as a counterpart to 300.
I would call that a fraud.
327. Okay, there's something going whack with this counterpart calculation. It's looking for way too much wax there, so I'm gonna just do 11.
I never sucked any ding dongs.
10.5.
What's that one from?
That's
Is that Alex Jones?
it is. You got that one in the.
They turned the friggin' frogs gay.
That's a pretty good one. All right, and here we go.
A lot of those just have like no context that makes sense on our show, but I do like playing them. I also like this one.
I'm sure they didn't make sense at the time either.
There we go. So now this will be our position moving into the next week. We got 16 wax against 462 Wombat in the Wombat pool. We have 10 wax against its counterpart in the CMW pool on Taco. And we still kept about 100 wax, 106 wax, I think, in the USDT wax pool on DeFi box. The last part of this DeFi position that we're tracking, let's just peek at it without, we don't have to adjust it, but it is the NFT Hive.
Did you bring condoms?
So in the NFT Hive, yield farming, here you can see how I literally claimed these rewards yesterday, so I'm curious how this looks now.
That should be the new game we play. Max has 1 hour to do DeFi stuff, and the longer he passes after an hour, the more I just spam the soundboard with nonsense.
All right, here's the last part of our investment for the week. We have 2 honey that we've bought. The honey is staked at NFT Hive, and you can see we're earning all of these tokens passively.
Can do something?
So
that one wasn't me. That's the audience.
Okay, good. So we're still I'm still happy with this. I like this honey thing. I think it's fun. I think we're gonna let this ride too. I don't think I'm gonna like make a huge killing off any of these tokens. I just like that there's a little basket of assets passively accumulating here in the background, and I just wanted to.
It's also super cool that you can use it to boost CPU. Like honey's a real fucking cool token.
Yeah, it boosts the CPU boost is like a lot. Like 2 honey, you can boost the shit out of your CPU.
You get nothing.
You
lose.
The soundbite, Mark.
Good day,
I left
sir.
that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted.
That one, like, if you don't know the story, I feel like it's not as funny, but it's like, she was like, some celebrities, like I went to a store to get a yogurt and then saw some ad for like diet stuff, and it like triggered her to the point where she had to leave the store. She's like, I had to leave the store and I couldn't get the yogurt I wanted because like I don't know, I forget the scenario, but it is something where people are like, yeah, you're real privileged if like you're complaining about like seeing an advertisement for diet food and it like triggers you to the point where you can't shop.
Yeah, that's kind of on you.
Yeah. Oh, either way, yeah, you can rent your CPU here too. But yeah, that's kind of it for
You
the
rent CPU and you pay in honey. Okay.
Yeah, or you can pay in wax too, but it's basically 1-to-1 with wax for this utility. So I would always pay in wax. I'm not about to burn my honey for this. I would rather stake the honey and earn all those tokens. But yeah, that's it. I think that's it for the investment for the week. There is one other graphic I wanted to show because we didn't get to talk too much about the FTX collapse.
Yeah, we haven't even done the FTX stuff yet.
Can devs do something?
Yeah,
Here's
that one's
something-
funny, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, I
This
saw
is
something
something-
the other day.
that kind of helps to illustrate how this ripples through the entire crypto market. So you can see all of the different investments that were tied to the money involved with FTX. So like this is all like tied to the same guy.
You lose.
Sam.
Good day,
So he has FTX. FTX has its acquisition and investment branch. Those branches are themselves keeping all these projects solvent. Here's FTX US acquisitions and investment and the stuff that they're into. So you can see like there's a lot of like, you know, stuff like Voyager, stuff like Solana, and you know these things that seem like independent things that have heavy VC funding from the now default.
Well, the other piece. Sorry, go ahead, Lou.
I don't know the best way to explain this because I'm an idiot, but like part of those investments too were like they would invest in these companies and make them buy FTX. So they were like making these new tokens have stakes in FTX, and there's just this like weird circle of like the value of FTX was all backed by these companies that FTX had invested in. So it was like once they went down, it was like huge fucking.
That's basically what I'm seeing too. How
I
don't know if you can explain that better than
basically-
me. I feel like I just did not explain
they
that
would
well.
they would give them say like $100,000 to invest in this company as seed funding, then tell them to buy their token with it, then send them cash back. So they
basically they were like paying people to buy FTX token that they were
so they would
investing in.
they would pump the token, but then also get the cash infusion. So it was like kind of this cyclical pump and dump scheme.
Yeah, it's
and then the other
basically
piece that's
FTX is like
here-
an exchange. So all three of these FTX, FTX US, and FTX Ventures are like client-facing exchanges, and then Alameda is a hedge fund market maker kind of entity, but they were all owned by the same person. So Alameda basically would be able to loan money to FTX, and then the money from FTX could be used to invest into projects. Those projects would then be asked basically to put their money or their capital into like Alameda or into FTX, which they then could use to either like pay off or cover new loans, and then basically rinse and repeat. So it's like you would borrow money from yourself, use the money to invest in something, have the invested party basically put their investment into your brokerage, and then you would use that deposit into your brokerage to fund a new investment. So now you have all of these. Basically, it'd be like taking the same $100 to buy like thousands of times over like stuff, and you just keep
so
rolling.
they could basically keep leveraging off of their own money to increase their ability to leverage new investments. But that's why it's a house of cards. That when the thing
They were basically like leverage trading. They're doing like when Max was using the decentralized lending protocols. If you just keep going in and on itself again and again until it's like, I feel like they're doing that shit.
But you know, the other wrinkle is that not only were, well, I guess it's kind of similar that outside of this, you know, companies that they were invested in, there was additional exterior companies that were also invested in FTX. So when other major exchanges or protocols have significant amounts of FTX tokens to the tunes of tens to multiple dozens of millions of dollars, which is not unusual, like crypto.com and other exchanges or lending protocols. And so, you know, when they fail, there's a trickle down effect and a collateral damage of everyone else that had exposure to the FTX token. So I don't think the full fallout of FTX has really shown itself yet, because not only is there's this whole web of Ponzi going on with the FTX and who has FTX invested in, but there's also independent groups that were like, hey, FTX is the second largest exchange in the world. Let me buy their token. And then now it's worth nothing. They just lost $50 million. And we've already seen that FTX, along with many other crypto exchanges, have been over leveraged, and the strongest, like the littlest gust of wind will blow them over. So there might be another, domino effect, just like with the 3A Capital stuff and Terra Luna and so on and so forth. So I think they're going to drag some others down with them. Crypto.com already had a bank run, and basically, I don't know if they had to pause withdrawals, but they had to. They ran out of gas. Like their hot wallet transactions ran out of gas. So
they basically had like a queue of withdrawals. People had to wait. Sometimes I think like 16 hours or something for on-chain transactions to actually be broadcast after they requested withdrawals. But they didn't call it a halt of withdrawals. So I guess theoretically they didn't pause them.
That's totally unrelated, but on the screen here we have a picture of what like shredded wheat looks like when it's not a mini wheat. This is like the size of, they're just like these big fucking chunks of shredded wheat.
Fuck, dude?
It's like, two of those filled entire cereal
bowl.
Like
a human-sized hamster pellet.
Yeah.
It'd be
stops you from masturbating, I heard.
I guess so.
That's not even the right one.
The other thing that's happened here, and this is very, very like developing still, is that after FTX stopped its withdrawals and basically paused its operation, and Toon shared this in our Discord too, somebody they claimed they were hacked, but they pushed an update to their apps that made their apps effectively act as malware for like clients who still had their shit installed and had updated it and interacted with it.
Oh yeah, that fucked people.
And behind the scenes, those accounts were moving money off FTX wallets and have been stealing the backing. So it's like, not only did FTX and Sam and all these people commit large scale equity fraud by basically leverage trading with their clients' funds, they also now have stolen all those funds and are saying that it was hacked. But to push an update from your company's like servers to every application and user out there, that requires access that isn't realistically available to hackers. The way
also said there's like there were like backdoor things in the code so that he could move money around without it alerting. Like, there's like weird shit in the code that pretty much makes it look like whoever designed the shit was designing it so they could exit like without people stopping them.
So
you're saying FTX pushed an update that affected the code. That
if you tried to pull your money out of FTX, it stole it. So everybody that's trying to, when FTX was collapsing and everybody trying to get out, they were getting hacked when they were trying to log into FTX and then losing even more money.
Oh,
like they pushed an update that turned their apps, like the apps that you have on your phone or whatever, however you interact with FTX, it like made that predatory. And that happened like a few days ago. And then right now I'm seeing that it looks like the exploiter's wallet has basically finished transferring all those assets and buying Ethereum with it. And it looks like the wallet
my in-depth research that I have on the screen here.
Nice.
This is an update on the before it's just him, but they added the
and there's a big reaction now where with all of the news of FTX and all this fallout, now what crypto exchanges are left, at least the big ones, are all now trying to show their books to say, okay, well, we're solvent.
Did you get an email? I got an email from BitREx today. They're like, hey, by the way, we're not fucking shutting down. Like BitREx just like emailed everybody as the account just to be like, hey, we're not fucking up like everybody else. But I thought it was funny.
Like, a couple of major Chinese ones, like a Hong Kong exchange, Coinbase.
A lot of those exchanges had been like affected by Terra Luna and then were bailed out by FTX, and now those bailouts, aren't fucking solvent. So those companies are back to being fucked.
That's why you got to take a bailout in cash. Don't take a bailout in FTX token. But,
it's wild. It does look like literally right now there is
the players that are left are saying like, hey, there's going to be some more dominoes that fall. Here's us showing that we have the cash reserves to pay out everything. Now we'll see if those are legit and if everything is the way they say it is, because so far people have been saying they've been solvent forever and given some BS evidence to prove it, and then it ends up fucking up anyway. But
it's sort of crazy that Tether is like lasted through all this, because people have been rumors about Tether for the longest time that they like don't have this
Tether
stuff
was
back
going to
yet.
collapse before any of these exchanges.
It's like, yeah, I was not guessing that FTX would collapse before Tether, but hit that one on your bingo, your crypto bingo
So
collapse.
you're seeing the market react. We'll see how long it lasts with all this transparency in a traditionally and notoriously non-opaque kind of market in the crypto world. We'll see if that sticks or if this is just a flash in the pan. Like, hey, don't bank run on us too, because we'll get fucked. And hope we'll see 6 months from now if that transparency stays. But there's a lot of collateral damage. There's a lot of incestuous intertwining of these companies. I mean, like I have this article that's like Coinbase had 15 million in deposits on FTX. Crypto.com 76 million in FTX. Genesis Trading 175 million in locked funds on FTX. Solana Foundation 30 million tokens frozen on FTX. I mean, and it's an
ass load.
And you're right. Like this first wave of dominoes is. Hold on, I'm hearing myself echo, but
what is that? Where's that coming from?
I don't hear it, so it's probably me.
But I'm hearing this wave of echoes.
Are you still echoing?
No.
I think it's good now.
It's good.
They all got bailed out by FTX. Now FTX fails. Who's gonna bail out FTX?
Lewis, you got a package.
Yeah, that makes sense. What did I order? I ordered some shit from Target. I ordered a thing you put on your oven mitt so you don't burn your hand on the oven. I fucking burned our other one. I thought that shit was like any temperature proof. It's not. Those things can catch on fire, and I learned that the hard way.
What, like an oven mitt?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I just
find like our red oven mitt got fucking like singed. I was trying to fuck with the bong. I was like, I heated up this thing, and you can't pull it out because it's stuck in there. So I pulled it out with that, and it like burned the fucking oven mitt, which I was like not expecting that. So
I see.
I bought some new oven mitts. I bought 2 oven mitts and then 2 pot holders from the same place too. I was like, holy shit, though, like you have no idea how much time I spent researching oven mitts on fucking Amazon too. Like the reviews for oven mitts are all over the fucking place. I couldn't find a good one. So I like just went to the look. The one we had was fine. I was like, this thing has lasted years only because of my dumbass user errors. It fucked up. So I looked and that was from Target. So I looked at Target and they sell them for $5. I was like, fuck yeah. So I just bought some from Target.
Nice.
Oh, BlockFi considering bankruptcy after
I think they already filed for bankruptcy now. BlockFi.
Wow.
People are saying the silicone, if the silicone gets oil on it, it burns you. They were like, the silicone's good, but like if it gets wet at all, it like cotton can get wet and the heat doesn't go through it. But for something about silicone, if silicone gets wet or oil on it, it like no longer works as like heat protection. It just burns the fuck out of your hand. So like, I read a bunch of reviews. I read way too many reviews, and it's probably all just like when you go on Amazon, it's probably all companies just talking shit about the other ones. They'll buy theirs. They're probably just like, it's probably somebody selling cloth ones that are just like silicone burns your hands, but like, I don't know.
That's big cotton is pushing that narrative.
I spent like way too long reading about them. I also spent like 2 hours trying to learn how like the best way to buy bulk oatmeal, only to learn that like I'd have to spend like $200 and I'd be saving like 1 cent an ounce. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy normal size oatmeal instead of buying a 50-pound bag and like taking up our entire fucking kitchen with a 50-pound bag of oatmeal. But that's what I do when I get stoned at like 2 a.m. If you guys are wondering, I look at
how
the
much
best
money
oven
can I
mitts.
save on oatmeal. This thing that's already like super fucking cheap.
But yeah, I mean, like just to wrap up the FTX stuff, like I mean,
I have one more thing
for me. What I can control is how I can, because the biggest issue here that we're seeing in the fall of these exchanges is the ability to get your funds when there's a bank run, and when people smell blood in the water, or there's a fire in the building, everyone rushes for the same exit. And I'm not saying it's good that these companies can't handle that and aren't solvent enough to give people their money back, but the reality is like this has happened now like 5, 6, 7 times now in the past few months. For me, the way I can protect the exposure as best I can is just to not keep money on exchanges where I am gate kept to pull it. And so that is why, as the saying goes, not your keys, not your crypto. Custodial wallets add a level of simplicity, add a level of access, and a level of institutional scale on these centralized exchanges. But the custodial wallets are just that. They are the custodians, and so they control your access. They control the speed of the access. They control the programming on which you interact with your money, what you see, what you don't. So now that doesn't take away the potential risk of engaging with smart contracts by doing decentralized finance stuff. But at the end of the day, if you just want to hold on to your funds, having your own seed phrase and your own wallet is the best way you can control when you enter and exit and swap positions. So that is just the moral of that story, in my opinion.
Understanding how to navigate decentralized finance markets also helps. So for example, like I was saying, crypto.com had like 18-hour delays on Bitcoin withdrawals. But what you could have done at the same time was withdrawn wrapped Bitcoin to the crypto.com's DeFi chain, then bridged that wrapped Bitcoin to Ethereum, and then unwrapped it into real Bitcoin, and that would have not taken 18 hours. So there is ways to do it if you understand how to interact with these assets. But yeah, that's definitely a good point. The best course of action for the average person is to de-risk yourself by becoming the custodian of assets that you intend to hold long term. The other thing I wanted to mention though is the crypto that was stolen from FTX right now, or from FTX. It looks like it's about $275 million worth of Ethereum sitting in the wallet, and they just finished swapping the last of the DAI into Ethereum. They were doing 48 million DAI in $3 million batches.
They found out who owns the wallet or a paper trail on
the wallet. This is happening like right now, so the wallet is active. And the threat of something like this is that somebody like who owns this wallet could, for example, short sell Ethereum on a different chain like Arbitrum or whatever,
and then dump the price,
then dump a $275 million worth of Ethereum into the open market on the Ethereum mainnet, which would absolutely tank the price, and then they could profit like fuck on the short sell on the different chain, and it's very difficult.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
So the fact that he just finished turning all the money into Ethereum is nerve-wracking. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah, I mean, there is exposure too on the fallout, even if you own your tokens, right? And
see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
You have your stuff on your personal wallet, but there is still collateral damage onto decentralized markets too.
Yeah.
So either these decentralized protocols have a treasury that is also invested in things like FTX. That's a potential issue. Or depending on what chain you're on, you might have big massive dumps, as our friend Donald Trump likes to say, onto exchanges, or dump onto exchanges that you may be held.
Big massive dumps.
There's also this
one. Fair, if someone dumps $275 million on an exchange or on chain, it's not a huge difference. Because if it's on chain, then the exchanges will start dumping into it on chain, and the price will drop on the exchange. And if it's on an exchange, then the DeFi scene will come and fill the arbitrage opportunity as well very, very quickly. So it's going like they definitely affect each other. So I mean, we've seen it now a couple times. Celsius, I would say, is the second biggest, I guess Celsius, 3 Arrow Capital, Voyager, all of those I kind of lump in together. Is kind of like we saw that play out like a few months ago. So this is wild times, exciting times to be in
crypto. I'm just trying to kind of logic out, like, if there's if you're engaged in more of a DeFi scene, and say you're just in broad strokes like doing DeFi stuff with like Ethereum and like heavy hitter Ethereum stuff, is there potential risk for these sort of things to then bleed into, say, a Uniswap space and start devaluing things by the kind of either
the price of Ethereum goes down on centralized exchanges, it'll also go down on Uniswap.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the move in DeFi, at least personally, what I do is I set positions delta neutral to keep this Basically, I have like liquidity pools, farming assets, and then I have the same assets that I have in these liquidity pools short sold on a money market, so that if the value of my assets drops, my short sell increases and my delta value between the entire position stays neutral. That's a really good approach if you can understand margins well enough to do that. It's not super simple, but that is something you can do, is basically create a hedge against your position. So the ultimate effect of what I've done,
Wow!
the ultimate effect is that the value that's in those positions shouldn't change much, but I'm still able to earn the yield from participating in them, even though, you know, potentially that is going to lose 50% of its value in the coming days.
I'm just afraid of like a similar thing where, like, I mean, the Harmony stablecoin depegging was because of a hack, right?
Yes.
But
that was a bridge exploit.
If you're on a similar setup where you have wrapped stablecoins and you're in a ecosystem on a blockchain or a protocol that has, say, a lot of the stablecoin or the bridge liquidity that is trying to peg the stablecoin is in risky investments like FTX and other things, that's pumping up the value of the stablecoin, then the bottom falls out, and then that might cause more depegging in the stablecoin and the wrapped asset stablecoin market. Or am I misinterpreting that if you have wrapped stablecoins, you have to have the existing counterpart?
You could build a phenomenal, amazingly well delta neutrally balanced position on Harmony or on like crypto.com's blockchain, and then crypto.com goes insolvent and all the backing to all the wrapped assets that you're using for your position are bunk. And even though your strategy was sound, you the factor of the risk that you expose yourself to by using wrapped assets is outside of the control of your own risk management.
There's risk beyond that. There's a risk that it loses peg without being wrapped. There's a risk.
There's the risk that like
stablecoins can lose peg without getting hacked. Like that's not the only way.
At the end of the day, you don't have control of that counterpart token, the real token, right, on its native chain. You're getting
you can basically de-risk. You can de-risk that by doing your stablecoin transactions on a blockchain where that stablecoin is native. So for me, that's Ethereum's mainnet. But I think like USDC is the stablecoin I'm using there, but USDC is also native to I think Avalanche chain. I think Solana is a native USDC chain. So just look up the assets that you're using and see what chains they're natively minted on, so that you're not interacting with a wrapped token and therefore de-risking yourself from the risk of the failure of the wrapped token's backing. So bridge exploits effectively.
Just watching my algorithms get crushed.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. I mean, the underlying tech and the ecosystem of these markets is working the way it always has been. I think the big kind of blow up in the past year with crypto is particularly based on bad actors more than bad tokenomics, or well, it can be in bad tokenomics in some cases, but I mean, in general, this is all based on bad actors and the fallout of poorly run companies, poorly designed protocols, greedy Ponzi schemes, and/or hackers. And I would say that, like, there is a lot of risk, and to say there isn't is a lie.
I mean, I think I have a more simple answer for that. Just zoom out. That's why people invest in crypto. Yes, in the short term, it's volatile as fuck, but anybody who bought crypto 5 years ago is in profit, no matter like.
Even with all this bullshit happening, you're absolutely
like,
right. Yeah.
Long term, it's a good investment. Short term, yeah, it can rapidly go up and down. But like long term, like maybe not shitcoins, but if you bought Bitcoin or Ethereum, like any time greater than 3 years ago, like you don't lose money. So yeah, I don't know. And it's like if you can not be shaken out, like let's say you bought in at the height of this bull market, you might lose money if you sell right now. But I feel like if you just hold on to it, it will recover. So like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad investment, but again, not financial advice. But I do think like just zoom out on the charts.
I would say this to this point too. Why would anyone invest in crypto? I think you're generalizing crypto as a whole with what's happening in like bridged asset contracts or literally criminal Ponzi scheme operations. Like those things are fucked. But crypto as a whole, like the Ethereum you have or the Bitcoin that you have in your Bitcoin wallet you still have, and the main function of those assets is exchange currently, and the exchange function is still very alive on those blockchains and very permissionless and very accessible. And that's kind of the big reason why I personally like crypto and invest in it, is like the access that it gives the end user. You have the same access to the same, you know, protocols and strategies and markets that any other player in the game has, and it's not this weird, you know, a permissioned clusterfuck of like insider trading, and I mean, it still is very much manipulated and still very rampant with scams, as we were seeing right now in real time too. And it's still very manipulated, of course, but that's just a function of like, you know,
I think it's a function of a market, because yeah, like that. It's not like that doesn't happen in the stock market. Like that shit just happens all the time.
It's just basically what's happening with FTX is what the bank is doing already. The difference is FTX isn't regulated, so they could just do, you know, they can do the same leveraging that your Bank of America account is doing with your money, but they do it a million X leverage versus like Bank of America going like 30X or whatever. You know, where the
and when they fuck it up,
like, you can't do any more than that. You know?
And you know, the real fucked up part is FTX can just declare bankruptcy and be like, whoops. I don't really think there's any sort of repercussion or remedy to basically the theft that happened.
Real quick,
also a great point.
Did anybody queue up for Nova Rally? Should I watch the races? I did. Or would anybody like to queue now? I can enter more cars. The plan was to enter at the same time as the audience, so when in the replay you could see your car, but I guess let me know, because I have 7 races that popped. So like, if y'all entered, we might be in some of these races together. But I could also enter again if nobody did. But while we're talking about this, it'll take some time to pass. So I guess polling the audience now. Did anybody enter a race? Does anybody want to enter a race now? Or should we just say fuck it and do Nova Rally tomorrow? But I do feel like, I don't know.
Yes, will the real Slim Shady please stand up?
We've been doing tech talk for like 2 hours now, so
yeah, it's lots of shit happening in the crypto world for sure. But
I did not claim my Ludi Club ring.
Going one row up the other soon. Oh, I gotta claim my ring too, my Momo ring.
I can do that on stream actually, because I'm signed into the wall.
I like that. I like the way it rotates, where it like shows like the top and then the front. Although I guess it'll be blurred out on stream. That's
like a good call. It's like, that makes sense. It's gonna be blurred out. I'll still claim it though. If you have a Ludi, I will say I don't really understand this.
Ludi ring.
Like it says this will be used to. It says it'll be used to whitelist people for future drops. I'm like, why don't you just have the Ludi template do that?
What about the Ludis? Yeah.
Yeah, like I think that could be used, but I don't know. I don't know what this is for. Oh my! It's on my other account. I can't actually do it on this. Oh shit! It's min 66. I might be able to get min 69.
Ooh. Someone's probably waiting.
So I don't think anybody's trying to play Nova Rally with me. I'll just play some of the races. Nova Rally 3D launched yesterday, and it's still it's brand new, so it's a little bit rough. It's not totally polished, but for like, you know, like a MVP minimum viable product, it's pretty fucking cool. And we've been talking. The Boffin brothers, 6-Bit Glitch was in here, and they're like very aware of the feedback that the players are giving, and like they're already working on adjusting it to make it better. So I'm excited. The team cares about it, and they're not like, oh, what we did is perfect, fuck you guys if you have notes. They're like, no, like we know this isn't like the final version, and we'd love feedback. Anything that you think will make it better. There's a specific channel in the Nova Rally Discord where you can post about that. So yeah, I've already given them like 5 sets of notes because I'm fucking anal. I had multiple sets of notes like after the first race. Oh, 6-Bit Glitch is still in here. Shout out 6-Bit Glitch, and I think Rob is your brother, right? You're not Rob, you're somebody else, Boffin. But Rob and 6-Bit Glitch are Boffin brothers. They make Tourist Station, but they also make the 3D for Nova Rally, so they've been killing it. You guys aren't brothers? I thought you were brothers. That explodes my entire world if you guys are not brothers.
Wait, what? Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, you guys aren't brothers. I thought you were a Boffin too. I swear Sammy told me the Boffins. Like he said the Boffins plural, like you guys were. Or is Boffin not your guys, either of your last names? Is Boffin a company name? I don't know. We're learning stuff. I don't know the fuck I'm talking about clearly. But...
Maybe it's like the Boffin bros, you know?
I might have been
Like,
telling people that you guys are related for the last 3 or 4 months. So sorry for all the false information that is probably going around on Wax because of me. What do you think about the price of the salad that doubled last week? What?
The
Salads are getting more
double?
expensive? Does it have to do with cryptocurrency or NFTs?
I mean, everything's more expensive, I guess. But
Before we do Nova Rally, I'm gonna do a dab. Oh, let's give me a
hard
bigger
does it make
screen.
salad anyway? I mean, how hard is it to grow fucking lettuce? Fuck.
I cleaned this bong and it fucking zooms now. Like, I was getting to the point where I couldn't suck air through it because it's just clogged with fucking oil. But now this bitch is moderately clean.
Yeah. I wonder, are you
Somebody
allowed
wanna hit me
to
with the
like,
smoke weed
show
every
that
day?
shit off on Twitch? I'm not sure either.
I don't know. It's not on screen now, so
I guess it's never been a problem. We always do that. Although we're never too.
from what you can see right now, I am not lighting a blowtorch and heating up a nail. That's not happening off screen.
Let's see. Hold on. What's the salad? I'm still trying to figure out.
The smoke that I'm about to blow out of this bong is actually not smoke. It's like dry ice that I'm sucking out of a bowl of dry ice underneath the screen that you can't see.
Oh, have you ever had one of those like nitro, like what are they called, dragon's breath like things? It's basically just like giant cereals that's like had liquid nitrogen poured all over it, and like when you eat it, it like the liquid nitrogen it super quickly is evaporating and it like just shoots all the like smoke out of your mouth. Am I alone in this, or are you familiar with this? It's like a mall
Sorry,
snack.
I'm reading the chat. Inadequate mass, I do think the rules are, it's partially to do with where you live. If weed is illegal where you live, you can't show it on camera. But I want to say, like, I looked it up at one point, and it's like if you live in LA, like it's totally fine to like vape on camera and stuff. But I could be wrong also. Definitely don't take my unknowledgeable fucking.
I also
rant
didn't know. I was just like a little.
I don't think you can drink. I think drinking is not. But I don't know. I've seen some like drunk ass people on stream before, like some very obviously drunk people. There's some like hot tub streamers that are just fucking wasted, that are like always wasted when they're dancing on camera and stuff. There's some porn star that does that. You guys probably know. She's like one of the biggest Twitch streamers, but like she just gets drunk as fuck and like dances in a bikini and has like 100,000 people watching her.
Now that's what I call content.
I watched it for like 5 minutes and just like, this feels weird. Like, I don't know why so many people are watching this, but every once in a while we'll go like watch the top streamers, and a lot of times it's just women in bikinis dancing or in hot tubs. Where'd I go? Holy shit, I'm about to be wrecked.
I'm about to be wrecked. Dang, it's like misty in your room, dude. Hot box.
Oh, I might have to smoke all about the door.
Damn, dude, big dabs. I've been out of dabbable weed for like 3 days now or so. I haven't smoked in 3 days. It's not bad. My lungs are appreciating it.
Is that by design, or you just ran out of?
Yeah, I ran out. And then I figured out what was there's like an attack happening on the Tor network, which is why like a lot of those sites are not accessible lately. And it's interesting. I was reading about it earlier today.
Like a hack sort of thing? Like, what do you mean an attack?
Like basically like a DDoS attack, but like directly through like the onion routing layer of like Tor, not like through this like I should read exactly what it was, but it's like something.
Some dude ran up and he's just like punching the computer with his fist. He's like, "Fuck you, computer!"
It's something more sophisticated than what has ever been like dealt with before on that network.
Yeah, you lost me at onion layer.
Oh, the onion.
Really?
Oh yeah, there you go. Lewis has set off his fire alarm.
This is the real. We're doing it live. Fuck it.
There you go. Busted. That's funny.
It's colder outside, so the window I normally blow that out is closed, but normally that goes out.
Do it lock it. Fuck it.
Oh, also I have
Yeah, it's 33 today. 33.
33 degrees? God, dude. Fuck that.
Did Paul come out? Paul's not worried about it. This is Nova Rally 3D, everybody.
Yeah, so Lou Neon Fanatics, as you can imagine.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I think he's got to air his room out more. I don't think he's like intentionally staying off.
Can devs do something?
Ooh, number two. Nice. I know. I was like, it's like 60 degrees out there. How bad could it be to open the window?
It's good to know the smoke detectors work.
Yeah.
It went from my room, and then the one that just went off is the one in the hallway. So when I opened my door, it just went from one room to the other and set the other one off.
Yeah, it probably depends on the track. I'm curious if the other tracks are about the same length or if there's a difference.
Yeah.
How does your track? Do you have a piece of this track, Max?
I have a piece. I don't know if you can open it yet. I haven't opened my pack, but I do have a track piece pack.
I don't think you can open them yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna open my window 1 sec. Let me try to load another race while I'm doing this.
It is pretty cool. I like the first person view is like my favorite of the camera angles.
Okay, I see. So it's supposed to run a bit slower. Well, yeah, because it is kind of intense. I mean, I'm sure it's by design, but maybe just a little bit slower.
No, there's not even smoke detectors out here in the living room. It's like smoky out here now. Damn, dude, that was an enormous dab. I can like smell it very clearly out here.
My bad, everybody.
God damn.
And my other window's open. Probably should have done that before, but
You should go to the first person angle this time.
oh shit! I clicked the wrong button.
Oh no.
My bad, everybody. I'm already stoned as fuck, and I've only used this interface a couple times. I thought that was the button that pops the menu up. That is the exit program button.
We'll do it live.
Midnight, baby. Yeah, Nova really changed a lot. This is like way dope.
Can't see too smoky.
Smoke weed every day.
BlockFi filed for bankruptcy. I think I saw that. I think about that.
Yeah, that's an FTX fallout for sure.
Like this first person cam?
Yeah, first person cam.
I kind of like this one. You can see the top of your car. I do like this one too, where you can see your drivers. Come on.
Oh no. Oh shit, you just felt like in last place there. Right at the end.
Oh. Tried to rewind, didn't work.
Yeah, it is very, very fast.
Is this not how fast it's supposed to be going?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. It's too fast on the PC.
Oh, I just thought this is how it went.
They're way too fast. On the phone game, it's slower, but I guess it had to be pushed out. It'll be updated. But yeah,
I don't have a wall on my phone, so I haven't tried on my phone.
Yeah, this is like plaid speed.
I guess I technically... No, you needed to prompt it. It's like, I guess I don't need a wallet to play the videos. If it's like the most recent race, I could just play it on my phone.
Oh, it's a bug that makes it run too fast on some PCs.
I think it's the speed on both my PCs.
Lou's just got that extra beefy hardware, you know.
This is my intermediate race. Let's see how I do in this one. You fixed it this morning. Do I need to re-download it, or have you pushed the update yet? You can just re-download it. Not pushed yet. Okay. Well, when it is, I'll download it. Oh hell yeah! This is my favorite team. That's why they're intermediate. Because I've raced them the most. It's MTV and George Square. I like how they're like arguing outside the cars.
I like George Square when he's on the lake.
My homies. Just flying at this speed. Does it sometimes randomly change? It's like I didn't click anything, it just changed from car cam to, I don't know, this is track cam. So when I click it again, it goes back to car cam. I feel like it does it every once in a while. 6th place, not great, but
Alright.
somebody else with the George Square one. There's triggers that grab cameras after some crashes. Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
I feel like a free cam would definitely be super dope too. So you could just like,
that's one of my suggestions already.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing I'll join some races tomorrow too when we do wax games tomorrow.
Yeah, we should all try to join at the same time so we can see each other's cars.
Yeah. I don't know what the hot combos are. I haven't raced in a minute here.
Yeah, I'll have to go ask some people in Discord. They usually hook it up with the hot combo.
Right. These are the combos I use. I got 6 of them. This is the one I've used the most. This is the one I got to intermediate. This was also like my first one. So this will always be my like main team. I think Rad Crypto Guy got me all these ones. I always just add him in our server. I'm like, hey, who should I race? I tell him the car, and then he tells me like which drivers work, and then I try the match wins that it's like I'm not already using, because if I send one pair and it's sharing drivers with another pair, then I can't use the other pair. So like I can send all 6 of these at once. There's no overlapping cards.
Nice.
I guess I'm using two of this guy, but those are different NFTs. It's been such an intense build. Yeah, you guys did a good job.
Yeah,
it's cool to see like any sort of races. It definitely is like already more interesting than Zed Run as well, as far as like Zed Run's just a straight fucking line. I wonder what it looks like at the normal speed. I don't think I've seen it played other than on my computers at that speed. I thought it was just like, how many CCs is the high Mario Kart? 200 CC? I thought it was just the fucking zoomy version. I'll watch.
Let's see.
Did I already watch my my pink car one? I think we did watch this one, right?
This is pretty dope. It's like totally has like Chicken Derby or like Zed Run kind of vibes.
Yeah.
I want to start. It'd be fun to like once the league stuff goes live too, where you're like your leagues are like racing and you can like bet on them and stuff. I'd be into that.
That pair did not do me well this time. I still have more pairs I need to make too. I don't know. I'm at the point where like I'm spending more snake oil than I'm making, so I gotta shift my gear down or send less teams or something. But I like running this pink car. It's probably like my favorite of my pairs. The pink car is always like the most expensive, and I usually bought what is ever on the floor, so I thought I'd never get one. And then finally, I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy one. Spend the extra, I think it was like 50 wax extra to get that car, but
yeah,
worth it.
Oh, it'd be super dope if you could like make the viewpoint so I can like sit in the car with my racers and be wearing like my VR headset.
You said it's instant vomit down?
Oh, I'm sure it would be. The way this is fucking whipping around.
Are the cars eventually going to change colors and stuff too? Like, will this car be pink like it is in the NFT? Or do you have to get cosmetics to change the color? You said yeah.
Oh yeah,
Probably to my first
so
question
eventually
then.
I think it'll be added just with that. Yeah.
I don't know which one he said yes to. Color grading needs a tweak. Looks pretty decent on stream for like how fast everything's moving. We usually get like dog shit frame rate on fast stuff.
Ooh.
This angle is pretty fucking cool to watch though.
Yeah, I feel like I like for the finish line angle, I'd like to be like parallel with or what
Oh
is
yeah,
it?
so
Like
you can
just
see like which nose passes for
yeah,
that.
so
like the
which
photo
nose comes
finish
past it,
angle,
and
yeah.
like do like a slow motion finish or something, like basically copy what
that's
Zedrun
the
does. That
Zedrun,
shit works
yeah.
really well. I feel like it's a great way to like end it, like to have the
I like the
camera
podium
angled
too
to,
though.
like, looking
I
directly.
also really like that he's doing the Counter-Strike thing where if you win, you can play your music. So you got like win music.
Yeah, that's cool.
So if I had
Flashbang
like
dance.
if I had a cassette, I could play it there, which that's like I don't know. Counter-Strike got me into that. It's so fucking fun when like some dude wins and it plays a sick song. Thank you for the follow, Xander.
Oh, it's
Xander,
like,
I think
like
he's
Xander Cage, like from Triple X.
I think he's also the one of the Alien Worlds dude. Yeah, said for Mr. Custodian. I'm no longer a custodian. I got voted out of office. They canned me. But what's good?
Yeah,
We've been giving out
you
those.
need more votes. I see you still have my vote.
We've been giving out those tools and promoting it.
Yeah, you have my votes still. I'm locked for 90 days too.
I haven't quit yet, but
How close are you to being voted back in?
I think it's like a decent amount. Naren got really sweaty really fast. There's some whales
Yeah.
going on it.
We just gotta, I don't know, campaign. Gotta start campaigning harder.
1, 2.
Hitting the swing
I
states.
also don't want to vote out Naren. I mean Nathan. How is called? Yeah, I'm like, what is that? 400,000 behind.
Oh yeah,
It's not a small amount.
it's a pretty good amount. About 50% more.
How much is one? Like if you have one, let's see.
Would your stake land you into the custodian role on other planets?
That's another good question. I want to first see how much like one does, because one isn't worth one, because you get like, you know, a certain percentage of your power.
Like how much is one atmosphere? Let's see. Is there a
How do I
little
stake
calculator
one?
or like the stake option that lets you like tells you?
Well, it used to say here like stake, but now the stake just says unstake. I'm dumb. Let's see the other planets.
Thanks.
Change planet. I think Neri got sweatier.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.
JR, I think he's like one of the biggest landowners, if not the biggest. Dr. Unani, I think he's Crypto Monkey.
No,
I don't know these other guys though. Yeah, is that 4 million? That's more than we got.
That's like 5 times your stake.
Actually, you can just check on it tells you total vote power. That'll probably give us a... I guess that's not necessarily what top 5 though. That's a different metric.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll check.
I guess you could. Can you check on a different planet maybe? Yeah, is the stake option here still?
Yeah, I can convert here. See, it says convert where it says...
Oh, I see.
Another one doesn't give me that option anymore. I'm sure you can do it somewhere else, but I'm still trying to figure out. Oh, Sammy's on here. Let's go, Sammy.
Oh, nice.
I think Burst was on here too. Yeah, there's Burst. So this one's pretty similar.
Oh, nice.
Burst has a little less than Nathan does, but pretty similar.
But Burst is still on the council, right?
Yeah.
Dope.
This is a good
Burst
planet. It
and
says
Sammy.
Burst and Sammy.
Yeah, that's
hang out
good.
with these guys.
Yeah, right.
I'm definitely, to be honest, not super like tied to any specific planet just because I don't own land, so it's not like I'm fighting for my own land.
Oh man, you're gonna alienate your voters.
I don't know. I still passed good stuff. I passed my work speaks for itself.
Yeah, look at my vote records. You know, I vote for the
vote
people.
records. I voted.
Know your constituents. You know,
I voted for rewarding Telegram and Discord bot. Like we sent some TLM to that, and also 2 people who mine on Naren for NFT points, which also is like, in my opinion, super cool because you only get NFT points if you have actual tools. If you're using just the free shovels and stuff, you don't get NFT points. So you're not paying the TLM out to all the botters and the people who aren't like actually buying tools and investing in Alien World. So only if like you actually have real tools and you're playing on Naren, you get paid out in TLM. So I feel like that's a great way to reward the TLM to real people.
Yeah, it's a good way to combat the botters.
Not to say botters can't also buy tools, but I feel like those people that are running thousands of shovels accounts aren't buying tools,
which is better for the network as a whole.
But
yeah,
I don't know. I thought those are both good things, but I'd do that on other plants if I wanted to. But
yeah, the
I'm
Alien
sticking
World's governance stuff is pretty cool. I think it's cool, like that. There's a decent amount of like treasury money that you spend every like week.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like it's almost overwhelming, an overwhelming amount. Just like I don't know what to do with this amount weekly. It's cool to see people using it though. I don't know. It's fun. It definitely adds like a new layer to Alien Worlds. And I like that, like, I don't know. I feel like you can do a lot of stuff that hasn't been gotten into yet, like develop apps and like people are already asking for funds to develop like Nick Custer's has a website with Alien Worlds tools. It's similar to like in our planet, that like Ether per hour website that told you how much you're making and like would tell you all your land breakdown, and like he has one of those for Alien Worlds.
That's pretty cool.
He's asking money for like hosting or something, but like I don't know, you can like do that, but then you take it even further and be like, you know, someone's making the Thunderdome, but like something different, but like someone's making a game with Alien World assets. Instead of having to do sales and stuff, they could just fund it directly with TLM.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check Magor. That's what you told me.
It's definitely pretty cool.
Switch planet.
Yeah, I don't think we ever got into Farming Tales. Liber.
No.
I stayed away from that one because it came right after Farmer's World, and I didn't trust Farmer's World.
Yeah,
I don't trust this person.
everyone was trying.
This person's
to stop
copying this thing. I don't trust. It's too much distrust.
Yeah, space farming.
They've actually done pretty good though.
network.
They released like an actual 3D game where you can run around. Like I don't know. They did a way better job than Farmer's World as far as development goes.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Let's see. Oh, this one has way less. This one I would actually be in the top 5. Like only one person is over 1 million on this one. On my planet, 1.2 million is like the lowest.
Okay. But your supporters would have to also stake to that planet, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm fine staying on Aaron. I also like, I don't know. It stressed me out a little bit. It's like, it's cool, but it's also stressful because it's like, I don't know. These guys also, they pitched me this idea and I was like, I don't know exactly how it's getting done. I don't know how they're like, yes, in theory, sending TLM to people who mine for NFT points is cool, but what are the logistics behind that? Like, who's coding it? Who's physically pressing send? Is it automated? Like, is it? I don't know. I didn't work out the specifics. We sent it to the same wallet, the guy who built the thing that made the chatbot. So I felt like if he's good enough to fucking make a Discord chatbot that's paying TLM work, he's probably good enough to figure out like the tech behind that. And also, it's like that chatbot was mentioned like in the official Alien Worlds medium, and they had like the wallet on there, the wallet we sent it to, and then also he's like a moderator in their Discord too, I think. So I was like, I don't know, they seem like a pretty trustworthy person that we're sending it to. It's not just some like random .wham that's not mentioned anywhere, you know. But you know, I have to go research that. I'm not just like in order to sign it, and that's every week if they're proposing new stuff. People are proposing multiple things a week, so it's just like, I don't know. It's a bit of a responsibility, and it's like it takes time. I don't know.
It's a fast pace for sure.
I already do a lot of crypto shit, so you know it might be overwhelming. Which it wasn't that overwhelming, but it's just like, damn, like I don't know. Especially because there's it's cool. 2 out of 3 people voted for something, and the other 2 weren't voting for it. So they're just DMing me like, "Hey, can you check this out? Hey, can you check this out?" I was like, "Hey, man, like I'm streaming and I'm doing other stuff." But it's definitely like, I don't know. It was fun, and I'd do it again for sure. But it's also like, I don't know. It's not the end of the world if I'm not reelected. I had fun participating while I did.
Yeah. Who knows, man? If Binance collapses, TLM might get real cheap, and then I might be able to vote.
Max, you just whale me in. I'm still mining. I can do. Wait, I don't know if I'm logged in with this wallet. Since I could. I don't know how. This. Oh, there we go. You can. It pop back up. I can convert more. Let's see.
Oh, nice.
Let's just try one for science. I'm not sure if I'm logged in on this computer though. I'm not. I'm gonna do this on my other computer and then pretend I did it on this computer.
I bet if you logged in, it'll disappear, that thing, right?
Yeah, Dan. I think there's a like cap on the amount of funds that you can move or change at any given time. There's like, what is it, 2%?
Yeah, it's like a trickle.
2% of the treasury is unlocked each week.
Okay, so you'd have to consistently each week for effectively 50 weeks, and also for those 50 weeks not get called out on very clearly on-chain data as you're draining funds.
Not even for 50 weeks. I think it's always 2% of the total.
Okay, I
2% of the total, and also those are getting drips. Part of the distribution is the planetary treasuries are filled from like the Federation accounts or whatever over multiple years, so it goes longer probably even than the, you know.
Yeah.
That would be a very slow play and inefficient scam.
But also that's why I'm saying it's kind of stressful because you have to do that every single week. So it's like, I don't know, that just be a constant thing that I would have to do. And if like I forgot one week, then something might not get passed, then people might get pissed that they didn't get their mining rewards or whatever. So it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like you could though, like just whale into that and just keep whaling and drain it, I guess. Probably at least on one of the planets.
People already have done some weird, like, we've had to reach out to some people who are like, what the fuck is this? That's the person who's trying to pay for the Nick Custer's thing. Like, we didn't know what that was. And like, the interface also is kind of hard to see what's going on at first. Like, it doesn't tell you the proposal, like, it just tells you the proposal number and it says yes or no. Or not even yes, it just says sign. there's nowhere can you click on it and have it read you what the person typed for their proposal. Like, you have to go to Discord and go through a chat bot and do like /proposal user and then number. And then like at first I was like, people are, will you vote for this? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Like, how do I tell what it is? But somebody's also showed me that's sort of like what Nick Custer's website and like those tools. People are building websites that read all the proposals out as part of like, and that's part of the reason also why they're asking for money for those tools. But I don't know, the whole thing's fun, and that also is a cool use case. It's like it's working for what it's intended. Like, people are getting funded to build tools that are now making it more functional. I'm a fan.
Nice.
I do wonder when Thunderdome, though. I still want to play Thunderdome.
Yeah, Thunderdome's been like on the horizon for like a year.
Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff in the meantime, but I remember Thunderdome being like the main pitch when we first started doing Alien Worlds like a year and a half ago. But I mean, clearly they've done a lot of stuff in between.
Yeah, Thunderdome is like
not
dragons in season 1 Game of Thrones. Like, they're supposed to be there, but like they're still
just have all these weapons
multiple seasons away.
I think that's the tough part. Is like all the weapons and stuff kind of just are in limbo.
Yeah, right. I still have a decent amount of weapons and stuff. I just don't have. I sold my mining gear when it like was super fucking like valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess
I'm gonna do the math here.
It still is, yeah.
It never went down. I'm super.
Yeah. I sold it for like way more. I think like 13 times what I paid for it or some shit. And then I was like, "That's great."
I still mine too. Like this credit, this 37 TLM is all just me mining in the last, like, since I think like last week or the week before. Like, I mine a decent amount of TLM. Add vote power. What's my vote power right now? It is. They do the math because like it doesn't tell you. Bring out the calculator. This is off screen. I'm doing some calculations of how much one adds at the max days. That's 5. So you 5x your vote.
5x?
Yeah.
Okay. That's for 90 days, right?
Yeah. I think you have to refresh it after that, but that's also unclear because I haven't passed the 90 days. It does say in the white paper something about the votes lose power over time, but I'm not sure if that's after the 90 days or if during those 90 days it loses power. Yeah, I'll show off my gear real quick. My inventory's sick now because I unstaked everything from our planet. Before it looked like I was like had nothing.
Damn, Alien Worlds land is still $1,300 on the floor.
So yeah, my main rig.
Consistent for a long time.
Yeah. In wax, it's now 24,000 wax for the floor of the lands.
This large explosive is probably my favorite Alien Worlds tool that I have. I love the long cooldown, the 3,600 seconds. That shit rocks. I would have bought 2, but I didn't know at the time you could stack. I thought you could only use 1 of each card because that's how the interface worked. You had to, like, through blocks, later people taught people how to use multiple shovels, and then you could do that with other cards too. But yeah, I should have brought multiple large explosives, but I tried to spread it out, so I got the Arturian shovel and the large capacitor too. And then I also have an epic nano miner, but that one I lent out to Jolly. Jolly's using it to get sweaty with the short cooldowns. I like the long cooldown. And the other gear I have that I really like is my friggin' this banana miner. So I got friggin' 10 of them. So I got them so I could shine them, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to shine them because shining used to be super expensive.
Damn.
I got some avatars.
$50,000.
I have a ton of weapons. I've been Wind Thunderdoming for a long time. I also have like multiples of a bunch of these.
Yeah, I found a few of my weapons, but nothing rare.
I got all these minions.
Dude, that robot super soldier looks like a Terminator.
I got these ores. This is from playing. This is like the season, not the season pass, but like the season. There's like seasonal rewards. I don't know what these do yet, but maybe usable in the next phase of the game. But
So they're kind of like
kinda
badges if you just play during different seasons.
yeah, it's like a badge. Like that's what. Right now, if you look at my NFT points, every time I mine, and you can't do it with just commons, you have to have like I think a uncommon or above equipment. Which I have rare equipment, so I get NFT points. When you get the NFT points, you can exchange them for tools. So like if I wanted to buy a tool, I could just buy it with the NFT points. But I don't want that tool. I don't want it.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah, I haven't looked into Alien Worlds in a long time.
I like the barrel digger. I might get one of these once I get up there.
I like that mechanic though.
Yeah, it makes like it makes it feel like you're always working towards something, and there's like a seasonal grind, which is this part, which is if I get 200, what is that? 210,000, 21,000. I can read. Then I unlock this. I get the NFT, so that's like the next badge, and then it goes to another tier.
Okay,
so
so that's what you mean by like the season reward kind of thing.
Yeah, these don't cost. Like this, you just get, you claim it, and you get it for free for the time you spend.
You don't spend the points. Okay.
These you have to spend the points to get. Yeah.
That's
but
pretty
it adds
dope.
like, I don't know. It makes grinding worth it again because I definitely took some time off from the clicking, and now like with my long cooldowns, I'm totally cool just clicking like. Every couple hours I hear the little ping noise. I have the sound on for the tab, and it'll make the Alien World sound. And I'm like, oh, it's time to do my click. And I don't know. I'm probably not outpacing the like landowners that are beating me, but I'm gonna keep voting for myself. I believe in myself. I'll just keep slowly adding to the Neon Lewis vote.
Yeah.
Man of the people here. Man of the people.
It's too bad this stuff isn't getting cheaper. I would have loved to own a piece of Alien Worlds land.
Miner here.
If Alien Worlds land ever like takes a fat dump, I'm probably gonna buy one, and whatever whatever planet I get on, that probably then run for that planet. If I got something besides, I'd look for Naren though, because I kind of want to be on Naren. I also liked the guys I was working with, the guys that were like making those deals I was voting with. I was like, I didn't know them at first. I was just like had to do the research and stuff, but it's like, oh, that's actually a good idea. Like. My idea is to try to play out to the stakers, and then like everybody immediately is like, that's against the terms of service. And I'm like, okay, well, let's not do that then. And somebody's else like, yeah, that's like illegal or something. I was like, I don't know. Okay, like, don't take my idea. I'm not trying to fucking go to Alien Worlds jail.
Yeah, you don't want to go to jail on a foreign
galactic prison.
You already paid your debt to society with the ban.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun though. It would be fun to get back in there, but I'm also kind of like excited to watch it from the sidelines and kind of see how this pans out. It's also cool to see, like, I feel like the communities are getting more active again because it's definitely quiet there for a bit, but now people are kind of probably also helps that the chat is incentivized, but chat's been picking up in the Discord lately.
Yeah, you're welcome for that vote.
I would have never thought of that either. Like, and those are both the other two guys that, like, the three of us voted for both of those, but they were separate people that pitched both the two things we voted for, and I was like, oh, these guys are killing it. I'm up here coming up with ways to, like, get kicked out of the council, get banned for being fucking breaking the terms of service, and they're just coming up with killer ideas.
Yeah.
It's probably why I got kicked out. People are like, your ideas are bunk, you're fucking out. It's definitely not what happened. I got outvoted. Nobody pulled their votes for me. Other people just had more support. We've been going for a long time. Maybe I should wrap this.
We gotta land this plane. I'm losing steam.
Yeah.
I'm having fun though.
Oh, I also, by the way, check out. You could pop over to Waxdown. Check out the new Neon Farm got extended.
I'll do that right now.
I did that yesterday. After doing all my yield.
So you go to
Waxdown.
Waxdown. Staking?
Use some of this extra.
Is it staking?
Yeah, staking. Yeah, staking, and then staking NFTs, and then there's Neon. You just type Neon. Yeah, there it is. Neon yield. 900 wax. You can get your cut by just staking your Neon Blend tokens here. before
only the
Super Blend Saturdays.
It's only the blend token template?
Yeah, it's only the
Yeah.
blend token. It's nice and simple.
Okay, so you can kind of earn on the NFT side of the blend token rather than the FT side and the LP if you wanted to kind of take a few and
Yeah. What does it say? How much does it pay out per NFT?
0.00004. Did I say too many zeros? It's 3 zeros and then a 4.
yeah.
That's
9.
per hour. That's per hour though, and you can just chill on that for a week. That's some wax. I'm digging that.
Per NFT, yeah.
Yeah, per hour per NFT, right? Yeah.
That's also, I don't know. It's fun. Those things aren't meant.
That's just for shits and giggles. I just wanted to
say how many are in the pool.
Yes, 225.
Oh wow, that's some good action. Yeah.
Yeah. I can on my wallet. I can see who's holding what too, which is kind of cool.
Max is always watching.
Yeah, I don't know, it's fun. It's cool. Like all this stuff is. You can make all these things happen.
And I guess if you don't know, blend tokens are a part of our neon economy. I can show off the infographic you made.
I do like the infographic. That's good.
Oh yeah, nice.
Let's get it in full size. Oh yeah.
Boom.
Basically, packs open for cards. Cards have rarities. 3 of the rarities, dim, lit, and glow, blend into blend tokens. Then blend tokens blend into new artwork. But as you saw, you can also stake them. And then you can also turn them into an FT, which is how our neon token is made, is by sending it to tokenized NFT.
And then you can yield farm that shit too if you pair it with wax on DeFi Box.
We don't show that off often enough for.
We don't. Yeah, this token fucks too. This graph makes it look real nice when you look at it on the market.
Maybe that's something we should start incorporating as a regular thing on Tech Tuesday, or advertisement on Tech Tuesday for ourselves will be our tokenomics.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Just quick overview. Here, if you go
it's also like, I don't know, we're way off the rails. We're 3 hours in, but just like people that care about our tokenomics are the same people who care about you talking about tokenomics. So it's like a good place to advertise them. And then like, we advertise our artwork on the days where we're more focusing on like collectibles and stuff, and like advertise our gaming utility on the gaming day we do, and just start focusing different parts of our brands, advertise those on the right days for it. It's coming together. We're learning how to be people and run a brand. That probably should have been like common sense, but I'm like, yeah, that would make sense to talk about the relevant parts of our own. We've done so many Wax Wednesdays where we don't even mention we're like a collectible brand. We just fucking spend hours like playing fucking games. We're like, that was sick.
Yeah. Here,
well, the Twitch streams come a long way.
What are we checking out? Oh yeah, the neon.
I mean, we used to struggle to fill 30 minutes. Now we're going on 3 hours.
I don't know. I feel like I hit the stride when I'm streaming where it's like, once you hit that like 2 hour bump where it's like, oh, I feel like I could keep going for like multiple more hours. The only thing that usually stops is like hunger. Is like if I wasn't hungry, or when like Max has to go do something because he has stuff scheduled in the evening. But like if we were all hanging out, I feel like I could do like a 5 or 6 hour stream if I had food.
Yeah, that's true. I usually hunger is what what I need to break away for.
I also do feel like at a certain point, it's like try to have structured segments of the show, but then like there's the post show, which the post show is just, I don't know, it's this. This is the post show.
This is the stream of consciousness, yeah.
But sometimes this is really fun too. Sometimes there's some really fun moments. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes maybe all 25 of these people have us on mute and they're watching some other Marvel streamer.
Yeah, you need to pull the RNG of what our post show is going to entail.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up.
But with that said, we gotta fucking go.
Also, check this thing out.
What is it?
Oh, that thing. Max loves that thing.
It's like a gyro. Let's see. Spin it, and then you get it up to speed, and it like glows. Hold on. It's not at speed.
Well, people want to see how you get it up to speed, Max.
What's the point? Is it like a fidget kind of thing, or is it like supposed
Did you
to be
never play with
serious?
that at Max's place?
It's like a
Lakefront?
wrist strengthening thing,
Oh,
I guess.
yeah.
If you're like a rock climber. Hold on, once I get it going,
Oh,
it
so
gets
it's supposed
actually
to be
really
for your
hard.
grip strength.
I remember. I feel
Alright,
like
here
it
we
was
go.
you, Bert, and Paul used to always like compete.
so
to
you
see
can
who could
really,
do it
like,
best.
I was always
Crank
really
one
bad
out.
at it, though. I was really bad at it.
All right, yeah, here we go.
I was always
Let
bad
me,
at it too.
Let me try and get this going. There you go. Like the harder you do it, the more fucking.
It looks like you're just practicing how to like masturbate.
I know, dude. Oh man, dude, I'm not so fucking good.
You guys, this is not financial advice.
But yeah, like it's brighter and brighter and brighter.
Yeah.
What if anybody's made an FTX song yet?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Well,
pretty cool.
Yellow or Toon2K
I'm
sent
digging
that
it.
like remix where they put the BitConnect over a Sam video.
Can get something.
How much risk was in that system? Bilateral, spook, non-reported.
I'm gonna pull the
Long.
camera off of Max.
That's not as good as I thought it was going to be. We're just going to be buying the dip. Buying the dip.
I'm digging it. Hey,
It's true tested classic.
it's cool. I'm also. That's true.
Oh, what's
buying
going
the
on,
dip is
Corin?
good.
Shout out to the Blancos fam. We're wrapping up here, but we were just talking crypto and then talking not crypto afterwards.
So we
Yeah.
did a good segment on cereal. That's a sneak peek of Friday.
Yeah, there's a good segment on cereal. And Max also did a lot of good information about Wax DeFi and stuff. And then I took us off the rails. Like, that's my job. But
We all have our role here.
Oh,
This Friday we're
and on,
doing
on that note, too, today is National Raisin Bran Cereal Day.
No fucking way. God
Yeah,
damn.
right now.
God, what a
does
trash.
that really need? Does it need its own day? Are we
But
sure
it
about
has
that?
its own day, apparently.
If every day, like, there's
it's
too many
today.
days for things. There's too many days. It just dilutes it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's not a bad one. Paul
But
has
I'll
a good
say
idea.
Raisin
for
Bran
tier
trash.
list.
I'm gonna take a hot take on that. Raisin Bran.
I like
suck.
Raisin Bran.
Yeah, Paul has a good idea for a fight. It would be best holiday, is what Paul said.
Oh, Kwanzaa.
We'll be doing a cereal tier list on Friday.
Yeah,
if
Mark
you're into
got
that sort of
racist
thing.
with it right away.
Who do you think is going to be S tier? Do you have any predictions?
Oh yeah, predictions.
Yeah, close second. Memorial Day.
I feel like S tier is Cocoa Pebbles for fucking sure, and maybe Cookie Crisps. I don't know, Cookie Crisps.
Cookie Crisp? I don't know if that's.
I don't know.
Cinnamon
never mind.
Toast
Cookie
Crunch
Crisps aren't
is
S tier,
the
never mind.
superior cereal, 100%.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, yeah, that's probably gonna do well. I think Frosted Flakes is S tiers,
Yeah.
right? I
I
think
feel
that's
Frosted
like.
Flakes is my
Lucky
S tier.
Charms are overrated. That's my hot
And for
take.
me, I would also say, and then this is like a long shot, but I'd say Honey Smacks.
Yeah, Honey Smacks, Dark Horse, Lucky Charms, overrated.
Dark
tier?
Horse, Honey Smacks.
I'd
is
put
the
Honey
S
Smacks
tier.
at maybe A tier, but not S tier personally.
No, Dark Horse, dude. Honey Smacks. is
Golden
a Dark
Grams,
Horse.
Golden Grams are pretty legit too. I'm a huge Golden Grams fan.
I like Golden Grams. I'm with you there.
Oh my god, are you
Plus, I
serious?
feel like
are
is a
you
guarantee.
trolling right now? Honey Cheerios are not.
I like
S
Honey
tier.
Nut Cheerios. I have some in
Get
our
out
cupboard
of
right now.
here, dude. All right,
Dude.
fine. If we're not putting Honey Smacks in S tier, don't even try with Honey Cheerios.
I'm not trying with S tier though. I'm not
Yeah,
even.
go
I'm
take
not
that
even gonna try
Honey
it.
Nut Cheerios and go
All right,
back.
I'm just saying. I'm calling it right now, though. Dark Horse Honey Smacks. Mark had that right on the money.
D for Dark Horse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh man.
All right, we got off the rails again. We're about to wrap up. I'm gonna raid into someone, but that's a preview of what's happening on Friday. Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, or probably closer to 12:30 or 1, knowing us.
Yeah. Prepare yourself by tasting Honey Smacks and some of the other stuff on there.
Yeah, buy yourself some variety cereal kits. Taste them while we argue, so you can like call us on it.
Oh
you
yeah, like
remember
the
you could
mini
get, yeah, the
boxes.
little boxes.
Yeah.
A little
The,
variety pack of the
continental
mini boxes.
breakfast
Those are kinda
boxes.
cool.
Yeah, they still have those. Like when you go to the hotels at the breakfast. You can
Yeah.
fucking-
I've been at Costco. They sell like the full box of like all the little boxes.
Yeah, you get a little like
get the big box there.
smorgasbord of cereal.
We used to get those growing up. My family would grab those. That's like how I've tasted most of the cereals like on these lists, just because like we used to get those
Oh, yeah.
random grab bags.
My mom was like, "That's too much packaging. We're not buying that." She's like, "What the fuck is that? We'll just get like a full size box of cereal."
But then you don't get the variety.
I know.
What about like the amount of Nutella you have to like survive the nuclear apocalypse? Like that's
it's the big jars, dude. It's the fucking like, it's the it's efficiently packaged. My mom was
isn't
all
it a
about
waste
the-
that you have more? That you have enough Nutella to feed like a small army?
What's the waste? I mean, it all gets eaten.
Because you'll like, I don't think you can eat it all in a lifetime, don't you think?
No, it gets eaten. That it needs. It's like constantly.
Max's
being
family are
replenished.
Nutella doomers. I swear to God. They're like doomsday
You
preppers.
wish you
for
had
Nutella.
pallets of Nutella in your fucking storage.
What was that?
Pod
Sounded
dropped
like-
something.
It sounded way more dramatic through like 'cause
No,
I heard it
it's just
echo
like a
through your
scream.
mic and then I heard it in real life and I was like, what was that?
Oh, man.
All right, we're getting real off the rails, but thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be online. What are we doing tomorrow? Is it Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We'll probably be doing some Nova Rally if anyone wants to do some racing with us. It's Wax Wednesday. We'll be doing wax stuff. And then, yeah, we'll see you later. Have a good one.
See you. Thanks.
Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you, with you. Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
First of all this whining by Wall Street is making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. GameStop was short. You can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of a stock, crush these companies into the dirt, thousands of stocks into the dirt. Then when the individual makes money, everyone's entrepreneurs. I have a kid who bought a house, paid $50,000 and bought a house. After decades of the short, you have to accept the fact that individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing and now you're losing.
Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening? Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, push it, push it, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
There's a lot of power in organization online. 2 million people can get together in a subreddit. I think it's really funny that the GameStop stock